to episode 35 of It's All Geek to Me, the pop culture chat show where three friends with varying degrees of nerd knowledge get together each week to have a chat about all things geek. My name is Rich Gittins, and this is our LEGO special. So joining me this week and every week for our Bricktastic episode, it's my buddy Chris Lumb. Come on out, Lummy.
Hello.
Hey up.
You all right?
How you doing? You all right?
I'm all right. Happy Bank Holiday Monday.
Oh, it is. It's Bank Holiday Monday. Not for the self-employed, but
I've
generally.
been thinking it's Sunday all day.
Well, that is a symptom of Bank Holiday weekend, isn't it? Genuinely, yeah. How's your week been, Lummy? What have you been up to? Did you get up to much this weekend?
Just gigs as always. Now, you know,
Gigs.
gigging, and
How often are you gigging now? Is it sort of 3-4 nights a week, or is it every night?
Not every night, no. 3 or 4. Some nights, sometimes it drops off a bit, but then it picks back up again. And it'll be sunny tomorrow. Patches of rain spreading in from the west.
And how's the confidence within sort of audiences? Is that starting to come back? Are you starting to fill up a little bit more? Because I know it sort of dropped down a little bit a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I think people aren't bothered now. I think they've had enough, and they're just getting back to it and licking each other.
That is true. We can't move for people licking each other around here.
And Leeds Fest just happened, hasn't it, this weekend? So
Leeds Fest has just happened.
So we're all locked down by Wednesday.
It's amazing. I remember going to my first Leeds Fest, and now lots of my friends I've just sort of sent their kids off to their first Leeds Fest, and yeah, it's quite terrifying. I think for parents to send the kids off to the first festival, especially post-pandemic.
Yeah, and also don't get stuck in the traffic because it's all weekend. Oh,
has it been bad? Has it been bad, Lummy? Has it been bad? Has it been bad round all Woodley? Has it been bad?
It's been bad everywhere. Yeah, don't go on motorways. Anyway, it doesn't matter, does it?
Do you know what? Should we bring out Webby? Because come on, Webby, come and join the Lego Brick Road. All right, Webby, how you doing?
It's an absolute pleasure to watch you two twats try and make balance. Oh, roads, weather.
DIY, barbecue.
Hi, guys.
How you doing? What's your week been like?
Yeah, Bank Holiday Monday. Yeah, it's been a lovely day today, you know. But you're right, Sunday, Monday. What day is it? I don't know.
It's Bank
All I
Holiday
know is I
Monday.
got a
You
short
literally
work
just
week
said.
from tomorrow. That's the benefit.
We've got a quick hello from Martin.
Martin, hello, mate. How you doing? Well, welcome everybody.
Oh,
nice, you've been to Stratford on a Bank Holiday.
He works in Stratford, doesn't he? He told us.
Gone global, boys.
Whoa. Stratford upon Avon or Stratford East London?
He told us Stratford upon Avon, isn't it? Where Shakers were born.
I see.
Or where they lived.
Welcome everybody to the show this week. Feel free to leave a comment down below, just like Martin has just done, because we're all about building a community here and sort of increasing our collective nerd knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. And feel free to go and share all our content across the social medias. Feel free to give us a like and a subscribe as well. We're just trying to get more people involved, aren't we, really? As much as we love you all, it's pleasurable to have more people involved.
Martin works at the original W.H. Smith's that Shakespeare used to go in and buy his pens and paper.
Really, it's where Shakespeare's first books were sold as well, apparently.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I heard, yeah.
I mean, I knew it were old, but I didn't know they were that old. Pretty cool.
Nice. I've probably been past your house, Martin, quite a few times.
I wonder how many places there are in Leeds, in England, that are upon something. Do you know what I mean? It's quite rare.
Berwick upon Tweed.
Yeah.
Burton upon Trent.
Yeah.
Stratford upon... Oh, no, that's what we're on about.
Yeah. I couldn't think of any more. That's probably it. Never mind.
Leeds upon Hill.
Yeah.
Leeds upon Hill.
Yeah.
Is that that's not really a thing. Ilkley. Oh, Jesus Christ. Bloody hell.
Upon more.
Bloody hell. No, we haven't really got any news this week, have we? We've been kind of waiting for this Batman trailer to drop. So every single week we do a show, and then just after the show or in the middle of that night, a groundbreaking trailer drops. Happened with Ghostbusters Afterlife. It happened with the Spider-Man No Way Home movie last week, where we've ended up having to come online, do a standalone sort of trailer review. And ladies and gentlemen, I can see that. So yes, so we've been waiting around for the Batman trailer to come out, and it hasn't yet dropped, but it might drop during the show. So if it does, we will get that uploaded, and we might.
Now, when he says trailer, we don't mean the trailer that's been out for yonks, obviously.
No, it's the second trailer, isn't it?
The new trailer. There's a new one supposedly coming at some point, and I'm sure all of Hollywood hates us so much. It's a conspiracy that they do this shit 10 minutes after our shows finish.
That's the point.
Release it now.
We've got
it's universal. We've got a guest coming on the show this week, haven't we? We've got our very own Lego master. Sorry, Webby. Our very own Lego master. It's Mr. Rob Girdler. Come on out, Rob.
Hey,
Rob, can you hear us? Rob, can you hear us?
I can hear you at long last.
Hey!
It's a miracle.
What was wrong? Was it a click of a button?
Probably something between the reboot and messing about with the settings. I don't know. I'm running a heck of a lot more tech here tonight, which will become obvious in a minute.
Right.
I don't know what caused the problem.
That's it, man.
Yes, ladies and gents, if you thought we were waffling more than usual, it's because we were just trying to pad out for time, waiting for our good friend Rob, because we did have slight technical issues at the start of the show. But Rob, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show this week,
man.
What's been going on in the life of you? Have you ventured outside much in the since we last saw you? Because
Lord, no, it's been summer. It's far too hot to be going outside. Bring on winter. I might go out again.
It's really difficult to build Lego outside. It's hard enough to find a bit when you drop it on your carpet. Never mind when you drop it in park.
If you're working with green pieces, you drop it in the grass. Yeah,
exactly.
That's very true. That's very true. How are you, Rob? Are you well, mate?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, you're doing well. And what have you got for us this week, Rob? What you are going to do a build for us this week? Is that right?
Well, apparently so. Yes. If you remember, we had a couple of kits available to build the last time I was on.
Yeah.
Your audience chose the X-Wing, and they left us with... Let me switch over to this camera. They left us with a TIE fighter to build.
Nice.
So, for tonight...
This is a nice little compact TIE fighter. They've brought a few models of TIE fighter out over the years, and this is a sort of really affordable, condensed one. It's I think it's a really cool idea.
What, the 75300? Yeah. 75300.
Biggest complaint about Lego is the sets are too bloody expensive, as we'll talk about later.
Yeah, we will.
So it's nice.
Particularly when it gets onto the branded ones, particularly Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. No, absolutely. So you're going to be building the TIE fighter for us today, and I think we're going to have a. Have you got something else to show us today?
Well, you see, when Webby over there called me the other day, or texted me the other day, he said you were doing a Lego Bonanza.
Yeah, that's right.
And I thought there's only one thing you can do for a Lego Bonanza, and that's go all out. So we have a kit to build, but I thought, what else could I do? I should probably get some Lego sets out and put them on display for you guys and for the audience. So I ended up with pretty much every Lego set I have is currently on display. My lounge is chaos. I've got these on camera, and once we've done the build, if there's anything that people fancy a closer look at, we can move it up to the best place. To give you a quick idea, we have some of the older school stuff.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
The old school space sets.
We're going to talk about actually in my. I've got a special mention later on, and it's about the created sort of plates. That they did. Yeah.
I'm trying to reach out and zoom in, but it doesn't work like that on here, does it?
No, unfortunately. So once we've cleared the work area, if there's particular kits, and I suspect something from the next image might interest a few people. But we have a few kits. I can move them over to the build area once we've done with the actual TIE fighter. But just to show you quickly, we will have a look at the modern era of kits.
Holy shit!
Holy crap!
Wow.
There's obviously the X-Wing down there you should recognise.
Yeah.
And the DB9, those were both built on stream for you.
Yeah, that's right. Exclusives.
There's a helicarrier there in the background, the Shuttle Discovery. You have all the Lego Dimension figures across the bottom. There's something off to the left-hand side. I'm not quite sure what that is.
Yeah.
Looks like a piece of junk to me.
Looks shit.
Junk.
It's going to be exciting.
Unbelievable,
have a look at those a bit more.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Well, living the dream, Rob. You're living the dream.
Because otherwise it's going to end up being another big sort of double episode where we're Coming back to just see more Lego. So yes, so you're going to get started on the TIE Fighter for us, so we're going to be able to get to see some of that. And feel free to obviously get involved in the show as much as you want while we're chatting away. Can I just ask,
have you laid all your pieces out?
No, this is still fresh in box.
Oh,
so apologies as I open the packets. There's going to be some rustling. I'm not trying to mess with audio and mute it tonight after the problem.
Yeah, don't mute. We won't get you back.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. So there will be some rustling on there. But,
awesome,
this is brand new in box.
See it. Can't wait.
Cool. Look forward to it. And obviously, Rob, while we're talking about Lego, if there's anything that you want to mention or get involved with, please feel free to join in the chat. I know you're going to be focused in on making your build, but obviously we want to hear what you've got to say as well, as always. So get to it, Rob. I feel like I need like a klaxon, like wah, 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 and you're going to start building your Lego like a timer. Yeah,
definitely have a timer.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, then. Well, ready, Rob? Go. Okay, so, gentlemen, Webby, Lummy, what have we got this week in terms of our Bricktastic Lego episode? Who's going to go first?
What about if we crack on with a best and worst then? That's a nice place to start.
Do you want to go to the best and worst? All right.
There's always Lego news every week. Our regular geek news will put off for a week or so till next show, which should be a regular normal type show. But yeah,
okay. So as always, every week I challenge Webby and Lummy to come up with their best and worst of a chosen subject. This week it was our best and worst Lego sets, and we normally start with Lummy, so let's go with Webby first. Webby, what is your best Lego set ever?
I mean, the thing is with the best and worst, there's no limits, is there? Yeah, you can pick the most expensive, the one with the most bricks. I'm just picking stuff I'll never be able to afford. My first one is my best one, is Diagon Alley. Now, this came out last summer, I think, around about last summer, and it's just a really lovely build, and it's just a bunch of buildings really, but it's so colourful. There's tons and tons of Lego figures with it, tons of minifigs. It's got
Lego bike sound effect.
Yeah, it's just one of them that is. I really love how colourful it is. I really love the variation, and every shop does something different. So if you're in the one shop, it's got little features. Fred and George's joke shop, there's loads of moving pieces. And it's one that is very much on my list, but very much unlikely to ever get bought.
How much does this retail for?
That's exactly what I was supposed to ask.
279 quid, I think.
I mean, to be fair, you do get a lot there, don't you, really? I mean, I was going to go, bloody hell.
You do. And I think to people who do want to go bloody hell, what you got to remember is these figures as well that come out, some of them are worth a ton of money because you can only get them in this set. I think this set has got at least 4 exclusive figures. One of them is Gilderoy Lockhart. So
there's about 14 figures in it.
Yeah, if you're the kind of person who's not bothered about minifigures, believe it or not, there are quite a lot of people who are not bothered about the figures. They just sell them on. You could make a fair amount of money with this one. Not quite the full retail price of it, but I think you
why aren't people bothered about the figures? That seems really weird to me, because the whole beauty of being able to build a Lego model is being able to then put your beloved characters in it, or set up a scenario, or you can look at it, especially if you're going to have them on display.
I can't answer that really, because I very much am one of those people who likes a minifigure. I like them. I think they're cute as hell.
Especially when you're looking at pop culture sort of genres as well. When you're looking at things like Star Wars or Harry Potter, or you know.
Yeah, this one. I've just tried. I've looked at the figures. There's a couple of figures that aren't in anything else. Like I say, Florian Fortescue, who is the photographer for the Daily Prophet.
Yeah.
Randomly, he's in there. Gilderoy Lockhart, I think they've done before, but he's got a special different outfit on. You know, it's that sort of thing. So people have money to burn, man. I don't know. I'm not one of them, so I can't really speculate too much. But people will buy an exclusive minifigure for a set that they've got second hand that didn't come with any figures, for example. So if you go on eBay, there's tons of them. There's tons and tons and tons. And then you've got people who make custom figures that create their own that they'd like to see. So if Lego do a figure and somebody thinks they could do it better, or they missed an obvious aspect of that character,
by the head,
you can buy custom figures as well. Like the head, you have to miss the head off.
Right, can you explain to me as well? Because I get a little bit confused. Because I like Lego, but I don't play with as much Lego, build as much Lego as you guys do, and I certainly don't buy as much Lego as you guys do. What's the difference between what's a minifigure? Are all Lego figures minifigures, or is that a certain type of Lego figure?
I think they're all minifigures.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a minifigure.
These are the minifigures.
Yeah.
There is a smaller size, which I think they call them the micro, or I think it's micro figures.
And that's all about the scale. So, for example, with that big Hogwarts set that came out, you got 4 exclusive figures with it. But
wow, they're tiny.
Those are the figures they gave you in that Hogwarts set.
Wow. Okay.
The castle one, yeah.
Which is weird because it's pretty much the only Harry Potter set that's come out that doesn't have a Harry Potter figure. So the figures you get with that are all the house leaders, the creators of the house, Godric Gryffindor.
Yeah.
And they're the only ones you got. And I guess it's for playability for that one because they fit the scale. So the Great Hall, those tiny little figures fit the scale of the Great Hall in the giant Hogwarts set. But that is a turn off for me. It certainly isn't something that I'm looking for. Tiny little itchy figures.
Well, do you know that? So the alley and all that. Do they all connect these things? They're bringing them out there now, the potion rooms and all that, so they all connect up. Is that right?
Right. This is where I lost my interest in Harry Potter Lego. I started collecting the bits of the castle. They were all modular, so you bought them separately. You can click them together and make yourself a giant Hogwarts. And 4 of them came out, and I slowly bought them over time. And then they just stopped doing it. They just stopped adding any more buildings to it, and they started again. So now they're modular, but they're a really boring modular. They're kind of just blocks, and they all fit together. Don't get me wrong, it covers the Chamber of Secrets. You've got the chess set. You've got all the rooms. They're just really boring, and they fit together in a nice square little castle. Not my thing. The other castle was much more interesting to look at. So I don't know what they're playing at. But that's what they're doing at the minute. They've started a new run of Hogwarts stuff.
And where do the little books come into it? Because then they released the little classroom books as well, didn't they? That for Harry Potter.
They're just play sets, really. They don't click into anything. But they are. You open them up, and there's the different classroom. So I think they're just an extra play set. But yeah, I think they dropped a ball. They could have made it much more modular. They could have kept adding to it forever. And they could have got some more money out of me for the Harry Potter stuff. But they're not going to now because it's not my thing now. I'm over it.
Fair enough. And what about your... so how much did that retail for, sorry, did you say?
$249.99.
Diagon Alley, sorry, is $369.99.
Oh! How many pieces?
5,544 pieces. So it's a beast of a set.
16 plus as well, though, Webb.
I know, it's a beast. It is.
It's the dark magic.
16, that 16 plus thing. Some of them, they really... I've just put that Ecto 1 together last week, and they are difficult builds. You know what I mean? You have to be a little bit experienced with them. But as for my worst sets, I've picked... It's kind of a range. The Star Wars sets... They've started doing them with a lot of different Marvel stuff as well. They're busts, so heads of the figures. There you go. The Star Wars helmets, man, they're my worst ones. Because I get it. They look all right. They're just not something you know what I mean?
Whoa.
It's something that doesn't really appeal to me. The heads.
No, I agree with you on this. I've never been bothered about these things. I don't know why.
Heads. The droids I like some of the droids I like. I would get that new Imperial probe droid that's come out. That's quite reasonably priced as well. But I like it because it looks like what it is. Do you know what I mean?
Can you bring it up again, Lumby, so we can have a look at it?
So it kind of looks like, to me, it looks like Darth Vader's grinning a bit. He's got a weird smile in his eyes. I think the coolest one for me is the TIE Fighter pilot.
Yeah.
That looks cool. And I suppose the biker scout trooper.
I don't actually know which one. If I had to buy one, I don't know which one I'd buy. I'm not that keen. They brought out
the Yoda one as well.
I don't know.
Yoda was a character build, and it was. I don't want my cup of tea either.
Right.
Did you see? I'm really not keen on this stuff. I don't like they did a Mickey and Minnie. Did you see them as well? And the faces were all square, and it looked pretty naff to me. But
yeah, it's kind of like that. Won't be my first. buy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? When you go into the Lego shop and you've only got 100 quid or something, you have to be really careful with what you're buying. And also, being a geek, it's really hard to be crossing between Star Wars and Marvel and Harry Potter. There's too much. I think my only bit of advice is if you're limited on funds and you want to start collecting Lego, pick a theme and stick to it for a bit, because there's just so much, and it comes out faster than you can imagine, and it disappears faster as well. They retire things without you even noticing. So you'd be saving up for something for ages and going to the Lego shop and just don't make it anymore. You know, not quite that quick, but it's pretty quick. Like all of a sudden you can't get all the stuff. But yeah, they're my best and worst. Surprisingly, yeah, Diagon Alley I picked for my best because I like the colours, I like the piece count. I think it's actually quite good value for money, even though it's really expensive. 5,500 pieces of Lego should be about
how much?
500 quid.
Just Rob, how many pieces does that giant Millennium Falcon have?
If I remember rightly, it's about 7,500.
Yeah, 7,000.
Okay, so it's about 50% bigger than the Diagon Alley one. Okay, interesting. And how much do those heads retail at?
They're quite reasonably priced for what they are, actually. Between, I think, about 40 and 70 quid for most of them, depending on how many pieces it's got.
Though. I mean, it's...
Yeah, and I've got the feeling they're way smaller than you think as well. Yeah. They look small on there. But yeah.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Do you know how many pieces there are?
No, they're all different.
Okay.
They're all different.
Okay, which is Webby. Lummy, how about you? What is your best and worst Lego set?
Well, my best is the Ghostbusters Firehouse.
Oh, nice.
Of course it is. Look at that.
Brilliant. Brilliant set.
Do all of those figures come with it as well?
Yep. You get all them.
Wow.
You get,
I love the Dana Barrett figure.
Yeah, it's great.
I love the Dana Barrett figure. I think it's really cool. I was looking at that the other day.
Yeah.
Lummy, this one.
Yeah, it opens up and you get the different floors and everything. The only trouble is the car. Well, it goes inside, but it doesn't. You can't
drive it out of the.
If I remember correctly, it doesn't fit in properly into the. You know, there's not enough room to get it all the way in and close the doors, which is a bit of a design flaw. It'd have had to be a lot bigger, I think, the thing. But it looks really cool. It's really good. You know what
we should do, Lummy? We should make a video where you bring your Lego Ghostbusters house over, right? And I get my Ecto-1. And we just ram it into the Ghostbusters house. Like, ram it in. Park it. We'll pretend we're parking it. We just smash it together and see what happens. Because that one definitely wouldn't fit.
I mean, the good thing about some of this stuff, like you were saying then, if you pick a theme and stick to it, some of this stuff, there's only a couple of sets available, isn't there? So, like, if you collect the Ghostbusters, what you can get the Firehouse, you get the Ecto-1 you've got, the original Ecto-1. You're pretty much done, aren't you? There's nothing else.
Yeah, not really. Unless you want to make your own New York building with some stone dogs on the top of it and Zoo coming out of it. That might be a pretty good set. If they did the top of the building.
Top of the building, that's what I was thinking.
Coming out of Goes or whatever she's called.
I reckon, I mean, when Ghostbusters Afterlife comes out, there'll be some sets for that, surely. I mean, there's already.
This is, by the way. I keep pointing over there because I've just put it behind me. That Ecto-1 that came out, it is the Ecto-1 from the new film. And it comes with tons and tons of stickers that are like dirt or rust, and as you're building it, it tells you to put these stickers on. I'm not putting them on. I want a pristine one, so I didn't put any of the rust stickers on it. I just left it white, and I think it looks way better.
Yeah,
personally. But yeah, I mean, that were a thrill to build it. I've never built anything like it. It was great.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. How much is the fire station retail for?
Well, at the moment,
it's retired, isn't it?
You've got to get. I mean, I'll have a look on eBay in a minute and see how much they're going for. But you're looking at a few £100 to get hold of them out you now, easy, even on eBay.
I think when it originally came out, it might have been 150, 1180, something like that. Because it's a big set, isn't it? It's got a couple of thousand pieces.
But you can only get it second hand now.
You can. Yeah, I'll have a look.
Why they retire? I don't know what their gauge is for retiring stuff. I don't know why or when. Maybe it's just sales figures. I don't know. But there's some stuff up in the Lego shop where you think, well, that can't be selling that much. And I've seen that around for years. So what? I don't know. I don't know how they work. It's quite interesting.
Can you remember how many pieces it was, Lummy?
No. Does it? No, it's not the box art, is it? I don't know. It's a lot, though. It took a few days to build it. You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I remember I built it while I was watching the Star Wars Celebration event, and it basically I left that on watching it, and it took.
Well, let me quick.
It's away. I had to put it away. I've got enough room. It's fucking massive. I'll have to get it out properly. Show it.
Is it in pieces or is it together away?
It's in chunks.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
While Lumb is trying to find the price of it, Webby, can you just show us your Ecto 1?
Yeah, I'll give you a little.
Just,
I mean, there's so many.
You might want to look at your camera for this one, mate, because this is a stunning one. So,
I mean,
it's absolutely massive, man. I mean, I'm really impressed. Like I say, so it's got little features like the back door opens, but it doesn't open like a normal door. It's on an angle.
Yeah.
Inside there is a chair. In fact, there's a little. Let's see if I can show you. It's probably
it's big, isn't it? I didn't realise how big it was.
Absolutely massive. So here, there's a little lever that you pull out of the back, and when you do that, a trapdoor comes down, and the little remote control trap comes out of it and wheels. But it actually drops out and it rolls along the floor. It's really just clever. Clever stuff.
Cool.
Really cute.
And you've also got a side door that opens as well, haven't you?
Yeah, you've got that door that's in the. Yeah, you see that?
That's a cool mechanism.
There.
Yeah, that's cool.
Out that's in the trailer. So that's really. When I was building it, I was literally like, wow, oh my God, it's just not what I expected. If you open the front door, I don't know if you could see any of this, guys, but if I turn the steering wheel, the wheels move.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, also you've got the hood. If I lift the hood, you can see inside there's a proper engine, a Cadillac engine. With moving bits and everything, man. It's
until you open the bonnet, it doesn't look like it's made of Lego.
And I like the grille at the front as well. I like the.
It's amazing. It's brilliant.
It's really
awesome.
lovely, guys. It really is. All the lights have just got a nice aesthetic to it. Even these back bits, they've got the fins right. They've got the shape at the back right. The wheels underneath instead of exposed.
Yeah.
Tons of little things.
I've just having a look right.
In the booklet, it tells you why it's like this. Because the other thing is they moved the ladder. I don't know if you know this, Lummy. The ladder's supposed to be on the other side, but for the new film, they've moved it. There's been some modifications made to this version of Ecto 1 that happened clearly between Ghostbusters 2 and Afterlife. Because they're not in the second movie. So it's quite a nice touch, I think. So I'm quite excited to see.
Cheers, Robbie.
The movie. Yeah, it's brilliant, man. I wouldn't have got it if it wasn't on sale because 190 quid's slightly out of price range. But yeah, I'm blown away by it. It's a really lovely display piece.
Let's go. Lummy, what did you find out about your...
So, if you want a fire station, there's some with 2 days left on eBay. One of them's 2 days. It's had 2 bids, 386 quid it's going at the moment.
Oh my God.
There's one at 310 with 5 days left. There's one buy it now, 495 quid.
Jesus.
I mean...
Right. And how many pieces does it say on the advert?
When it came up, man. Like, when it came out, I wonder how much it was. Because that is...
I mean,
if there's any businessmen watching, surely what you've got to do is buy a shitload of Lego this year, leave it in the attic for 2 years.
Here you go. 4,634 pieces.
Wow.
Okay. That's quite a lot, actually.
That must have been 250 quid or something then. Must
Yeah.
have been. Yeah. Crazy.
No, so does that have the fireman's pole in it and things like that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I bet it has loads of little Easter eggs inside Gittins, like the beds.
Sure it has. Yeah. Does it have the reactor? I mean, I suppose it wouldn't because it's
got it, but it's on the side of the wall. Yeah, they've had to do a few.
Cellar, have they?
Yeah.
No cellar.
Lummy, what about your worst Lego set?
Right, my worst one. Interesting that you're talking about the Ghostbusters car actually before this, because my worst one, and it needs a better set, is the Back to the Future car.
Right.
I never got this.
It just looks shit.
It does. It looks terrible.
Yeah. I mean,
to the point where people have modded them and made them, made the bonnet like proper rather than it look like that, because it really does look.
Yeah, they could do better than that, mate.
Yeah.
401 pieces. You can't even see. It doesn't look like 401 pieces.
No, it doesn't, does it?
But the figures are cute. I like the figures.
Yeah, I mean they're going to do. There's rumour they're going to do a big set out there like your car there.
They have to do now, don't they? Because they've started doing them all. I think they're going to do it. If they did a big classic Batmobile, because I got that one this year, and that was a mini one. A DeLorean Knight Rider truck. 18 van, Knight Rider car, 18 van. They could do a series of them all. As we've seen from the Aston Martin, they do sell really well. A lot of people collect the car stuff.
Yeah.
When Lego get it right, they're wonderful. Like when they get these big sets right, they're wonderful. But when they get it wrong, which is quite a lot, it's not great at all. Now, how much does that 401 piece set cost, Lummy?
This,
Yeah.
I don't know.
When it came out,
when it came out, it's hard to get older now, innit? I think maybe 30, 35 quid or something. But now you're paying a load for it, are you?
Do you know what the thing is as well, Gittins? Is it's not just the aesthetic and how it looks. It's when you put it together. It needs to feel right. You can tell. Rob will know what I mean. You put a set together and you think, well, whoever's made this is ballsed up because that doesn't gel right. It feels like it's moving. It feels like it's not clicking together.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell, and that I can tell you right now, it looks like it's not going to last 2 minutes.
Do you know what? Actually, I feel the same way a little bit, and I know this was a present from you, Webby, but I feel a little bit about that. I love this. It looks great. There's so much about it. The detail is brilliant in it. It's really, really good. But there's just a couple of points on it where you're kind of like, oh, I'm not sure.
But
that's like
that is the same sort of idea as the DeLorean.
Like
to make a
window there, for example.
Make a vehicle that everybody wants to buy, and just a bit of fun. And in my opinion, that one is 1,000,000 times better than the DeLorean.
Oh my God! Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
It looks like exactly what it is. The DeLorean just looks.
It makes you wonder why they passed it this as well, because it just looking at it looks pretty shit, doesn't it?
I don't know.
It doesn't look good at all.
Being the designer for that, if I was a designer for that and I bumped into the Ecto-1 guy, I'd hang my head in shame. I'd be like, how did? Because honestly, look. Over my shoulder, I can see that now. It doesn't even look like Lego.
It doesn't look like this.
You send some pictures, didn't you? There you go.
I did, yeah. Sort of as I was building it, there's some closer pictures of it. I mean, it's it's beautiful, awesome. Man. It nailed it. The engine's even got little Cadillac stickers on it. It's the rubber bands turn.
I was going to say yeah,
it's a cool one. Looks great.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Yeah, Lummy, I mean, if you can find it in sale, I highly recommend that one to you. I think you'll get a kick out of it. The only gripe I've got with it is it doesn't come with a single minifigure. Now, with a model like this, that usually won't bother me. But just to sweeten the deal by having the 4 Ghostbusters with it would have been a fucking great shout. It would have been great. And there's not a single figure with it. For a UCS set, I find that a bit strange. But they do that occasionally. They just...
Maybe it's because it's from the new film. Maybe they'd have had to give you
maybe so,
loads of them, or spoil it by having
bunch of kids.
Spengler.
But that's cool, Lummy. Well, thank you very much. If any of you have a best or worst Lego set, just drop a mention down in the comments below. We'd love to hear.
And also disclaimers,
you.
guys. We have there's so much ground to cover. I know I've missed a lot of stuff out. So
oh god, yeah, absolutely.
If there's anything you feel like you really want to mention, let us know.
So the thing I love about Lego is, some of these sets that come out are wonderful. They look fantastic. That Ecto one is stunning. The Firehouse is great. The stuff that Rob has built for us on previous episodes, it looks beautiful. But for me, the thing I love about Lego is the fact that it leaves a lot to the imagination for you to be able to really get creative. And if they haven't quite built the set that you want, like the Hogwarts, for example, Nathan, the one that came out and it was all modular, but then they kind of lost interest doing it. Now they've brought out a new one. It doesn't feel quite right. And you know full well that it's missing lots of details and they make compromises. Well, for me, it's the mock builds that people put together.
Me too.
And I'm fascinated by the attention and the detail and the time and the consideration and the art, the craft that goes into these mocks. And the best one I've ever seen is, and I'm not sure if this is it actually, but it's really, so I was really struggling to find a picture of an Australian lady made the most incredible Hogwarts. But there are quite a few Hogwarts out there that do look really good, including this one.
Yeah,
and they're just stunning, absolutely stunning. When you open them up, they've got the classroom detail inside.
Actual Hogwarts set, mate.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah, I think that might be the 370 quid one. Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
I think so. I know exactly which one you mean, my man. Together. But the thing is with me, Gittins, is I build a lot of it, and I am an instructions guy, and it blows my mind that people can make this stuff themselves better than the stuff that you're buying. we binged a load of YouTube stuff when you were up last. We were watching them build all the different types of Star Wars dioramas with the full battles going on and explosions coming out the ground and little details.
Somebody
like that.
did you see that Mon Calamari cruiser some dude made? It was absolutely massive. That was great.
But I did see a guy who builds Star Destroyers, and these Star Destroyers have never been built. Well, you watched this one with me, didn't you? It was 64,000 pieces. This guy built. It was big enough to fit 2 small TIE fighters in it. It had an engine room, it had a crew quarters, it had the deck, everything. It all came apart, and only this guy knew how to take it apart. It was absolutely beautiful and massive.
Yeah.
And it's not an official one. He made it himself. It's just unbelievable. And this guy sends the instructions for him.
No, the thing I like about particularly the Hogwarts one, if you're a fan of a certain genre and somebody's taken that much care and time to build this set, it's the little attentions to detail that they put in there, or the little Easter eggs, as you mentioned before, that only real fans of that genre would kind of pick up on and really appreciate and really enjoy. And that a lot of the Hogwarts ones always have something in it that is just like a little moment from the book or a little moment from one of the films. Yeah. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But
I mean, that lady that built that massive Hogwarts that we looked, I mean, it wasn't just Hogwarts. The grounds of Hogwarts were there. There was steps going down to Hagrid's hut. There was Hogsmeade on a separate thing. There was a train, a Hogwarts Express going around this thing.
It was
and
it was
underneath.
huge.
There was all the underneath of Hogwarts, so the Chamber of Secrets and the different rooms.
The kitchens for all the house elves as well, because she built it onto onto a mountain, onto a hillside. It meant that you could open that up and have all the sort of the Chamber of Secrets, all that. It was incredible, just absolutely insane.
I mean, you look at this thing and you think this lady needs to be given a job by LEGO immediately. She clearly knows her stuff. Apologies for forgetting your name, Australian lady.
I really looked online for pictures. All I could find was videos of it, but it's absolutely brilliant. And my worst is actually another Star Wars one, and it's just it's not just this set. There are lots of sets in lots of different sort of genres of Lego that I just think are really pointless and obvious, sort of just trying to make money. And it is the Duel 2 set. So the one where Luke is going down to fight Darth Vader and the Emperor, and look at the size of it. So if you want to play as Luke walking down to the fight with the Emperor, you get to walk him 4 steps, and that is it. It's just,
and the bit behind him on the photo looks way more interesting.
More interesting than the actual bit itself. In the set. And how much do you think that cost when it first came out?
No idea.
35 quid.
No.
Wow.
35 quid.
And it's still yellow figures as well.
Yeah, it's real old school, isn't it? That's the bit. It's the bit where he walks. It's not even right because it's not even. It shouldn't be called Final Duel because it's the bit where he walks off the 80, isn't it? It's not even the end duel. It should be calling Meet Invader.
Yeah, exactly. So I just thought it was. And that's the thing, because sometimes it's just really obvious when they're doing it as a money spinner, and sometimes it's obvious when they put love and care into it. And that's why I really appreciate the mocks more than the actual sets that LEGO put out. There's some that they put out recently, like the Friends one and Seinfeld one and that EXO one that you've got there. You can tell that there's genuine love that's gone into it, and it's probably been outsourced as well.
A couple of things. The number of pieces they've got now have gone up. They keep making new pieces for specific sets that allow you to make mechanics or certain types of walls or whatever.
Okay.
My pet hate with LEGO is when you build a building and you spin it round and there's no back to it.
Yeah.
Now, there's a guy on YouTube again who did Diagon Alley, and he took the blueprint from Diagon Alley, but he made the backs to everything and he made them all open up so you can open the building. Brilliant. And that, to me, I know it would be triple the price of what you're paying already, but for me, as a completionist, it'd be really cool to have the backs to some of these buildings.
There you go. I found your Final Duel 1, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so you need 2, right? So you got to buy both so you can have all the figures.
Yeah.
God,
at least that you get his chair with him, I guess.
But it's 29 pieces.
Lego compromised what they've done for so long. Characters in Lego have always been yellow until the last 15 years or so, when they started making different colours of people. And that's fine. Don't get me. I'm not like bothered about that. It's just strange. Where I want to know where they make some of these choices. They seem really secretive. It's a bit like Willy Wonka's factory to me. You know what I mean? Who decides to retire something or commission something that looks shit compared to something that looks good. But
Rob, very sorry, Robbie. Go carry on.
No, it's all right.
I was going to say, Rob, very quickly. I know we didn't ask you this beforehand, but off the top of your head, what's your best and worst Lego sets?
I mean, in terms of the sets that I own, the best is without a doubt the Falcon. But I'm like you, I like the mocks, my own creations. There's one I came across a few years ago. It's a guy who's done the pretty much the opening temple scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, amazing!
It's
brilliant.
It's brilliant.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Is that the one that's like it looks like a platform game, so you can see the whole thing across the ballroom?
It kind of goes down one side, round the back, and comes up the other, if I remember right.
That's right. Yes, that's exactly right. It is. It's on. Yeah.
And also, Rob, that's quite an easy one. Once you've got hold of some of those indie figures from the original sets, that's quite an easy one to mock yourself, really, because it's just grey bits, brown bits, and green bits to make a tunnel. You know what I mean? So it's actually doable. But yeah, I missed out on the indie ones. I never got.
No, I've never had any indie sets, unfortunately.
That would be great.
Kind of hope we'll do some re-releases with.
I was about to say, have they done any re-releases or any sort of muted
Not yet
coming out? Okay,
but probably if they've still got some of the licensing for it, then.
Indiana Jones stuff, historically though, action figures and stuff's never sold very well, bizarrely. I don't know why. It happened with Kenner figures, didn't sell very well.
But when I was a kid, I never saw any Indiana Jones stuff because I was mad about Indiana Jones when I was a kid. I never definitely bought some.
Yeah. I just found, is this the picture of the Raiders thing, or is it a different one?
Yeah, it might
that is it.
No, that's not the one I was looking at.
It's not. Because the one that Rob's on about, another one he means, because the ball does go down the thing, and then it manages to come back up, so it's on a loop.
I know what you mean. It's, what they call it.
I've only seen it as a video on YouTube.
Motorized, haven't they?
Because they did an official set of that, didn't they? But they did an official set of the temple bit. You do know that, don't you?
No,
I didn't actually. No.
Yeah, I've got the picture. I'm gonna get it up. Just keep talking. I'll get you.
Rob, what's your worst?
So worst set. I was originally because Nathan told me give a bit of a think to your best and worst. I was originally going to pick the DeLorean that Chris did for pretty much the same reasons.
Yeah.
It's just blocky. And one thing you didn't mention, when you actually look at the original artwork pre-release for that, they were originally going to do a custom hood piece that was actually curved. They didn't do it in the final release. It really made it. I mean, it wouldn't have saved it, but it would have made it better. But no,
there's lots of room for improvement on that one, though, isn't there, Rob? I mean, they can't go wrong by releasing a UCS version of that.
The thing is, loads of people would buy it as well, won't they? It'd be like an instant classic. Yeah. It's not like
you do a UCS version of that. You make it the same size as things like the Ford Mustang, the DB9. Get with the Batmobile and make it a decent sized car. And you'll sell plenty of those without doubt. You can put me straight down for one.
Here's the I've got your Raiders. This is the official set that they brought out for it.
Okay.
I'd usually say that I prefer the smooth to the blocky, but I think the way that guy built that boulder out of blocks, it looks all right.
It works. I mean, making a round object is pretty much I think for Lego Master Builders, it's actually one of the tests they make them do is to create a sphere. See how they do it. I believe.
Did you ever get BB-8, Rob?
I didn't. I've never bothered with it yet.
That was a set that surprised me. I really liked the look of it. The mechanics in it were great. The way he bobbed his head around and stuff. And it was 1.5 spheres. So it's about a sphere like you can get blocky Lego bits with half a sphere on the top that actually moved around. Really clever. Really, really clever. But yeah, like you say, ultimate test to be able to make something perfectly round.
Yeah, so just something that even resembles a sphere, because again, with the odd dimensions of the bricks, even allowing sort of the one brick out or the one dot out on each level, it's really hard to actually make it something that is spherical all the way and stable.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That BB-8 was a pain in the ass to build as well, because everything's white.
Everything
was white, so you're constantly looking for those little white 1x1 blocks.
Dude.
Yeah, it was
Try building the Falcon. 7,000 pieces, about 6,500, which are great.
Great, yeah, I was going to say. Rob, how are we doing with the TIE Fighter? How's the build coming along?
We're getting there. I've just about halfway through bag 2, so just putting on one of the wings at the moment.
How many bags are in this
total
set?
of 3, so it's a wing in this bag and a wing in the other bag, and we're done.
Okay, cool.
Just quickly going back to my worst set that I did come up with, if I can. If Chris wants to do a quick look for set number 3501, while he's doing this, I'm going to ask you, what would you say if I said a jet car to you?
A jet car?
Jet car from Lego.
That sounds fucking awesome.
It sounds really good.
Oh, Jesus. I've just seen it. I'll get it up. Okay, now. Right,
This
I'll get it.
came out around about 1998. It was from a short.
See, that can be forgiven a little bit then, because...
Oh, no, you haven't seen it yet, dude. You haven't seen it.
Okay, all right.
Looks like a 4-year-old's made it, and that's disrespecting a 4-year-old, because they've got better creativity in this. I'll just get it. Good God, I can't find the bloody image. There we go. Let's have a look. Prepare yourselves.
A jet car.
What?
Yep.
What?
So this is a short-lived brand they
Lego?
did. It's kind of Technic. It's somewhere between a cross of Technic and Connects.
Snap.
That sounds like one of them short-lived type of brand. Yeah. Oh,
it just
God.
doesn't work. But this goes out to that thing of, you were talking earlier, you want the model to represent something. A lot of it relies on your imagination there. Yes, you can take the detail in something like the Falcon or the Saturn V set, but a lot of Lego relies on imagination. That thing is just a chassis. It's a frame. There's nothing finished about it.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Yeah, completely agree. That's
I've got
a terrible one.
I've found some of the others. Some shit ones. It's terrible. Hang on, where is it? Snap.
I'm not sure how many sets they did in the Snap set, but I do not believe it was very many.
Not many. I mean,
well, they're not perfect, are they? They do occasionally have a massive fail.
I mean, it's like anything. You're never going to get everything correct.
But what are they?
The fuck is it?
It's like some kind of...
be a plane, but...
Yeah. Oh, that's a jet fighter, isn't it? The big one. And then to the left, you've got like a... I guess it's a propeller.
But this is nowadays, this is what
a Dragonite Bomb.
This is what Lego X01 looks like in the first bag. You know what I mean? That's what it looks like, as you're setting up the chassis for something else to come.
It just looks like a chassis. It looks unfinished.
Maybe when they were designing it, they pulled the budget, like before they got to the coverings, or like, you'll have to bring it out like this. Like,
I think it was just, it got to the, they had it in the project to be done. It got to Friday night. It's got to ship on Friday night.
Yeah.
Completely forgotten about it. It's like, oh bugger, we better just ship what we've got.
Yeah. What should we call it? Snap.
Wow.
I think they were drunk when they came up with that one. So.
Yeah, and the logo. I mean, yeah. Oh, they got the logo trademark, the name of it, didn't they? So they obviously
looks like those other products that pretend to be Lego, Blokos, Mega Bloks, and all that shit.
Yeah. That at the bottom looks like the Tron cycle, doesn't it? A bit.
A little bit.
Yeah,
that's the thing I think that resembles something the most out of what we've seen.
The Tron cycle. Yeah. Lego Tron set. There you go. You can get it. Wow.
Oh,
that's my worst.
That's terrible.
I think I agree. Actually, I think. Yeah. Going by old Lego standards where things didn't quite look like what they were supposed to. But when they got the licensing, when they started getting the licensing for things, I mean, Scooby-Doo, Flintstones, bloody Simpsons, it's been quite a lot of shit. I know, all kinds of different areas. And that's not without discounting any of the stuff that was aimed at the lady market before that was deemed unpopular. So when they brought Lego Friends out and they brought Lego Disney stuff out, and it was aimed at trying to get some girls to buy Lego, which is an unpopular thing now, but 15 years ago it was still all right, wasn't it? So yeah, they've done some really good, just a lot of potential for Lego. Who knew? And also the facts that, I can't remember all the Lego facts. I should have Googled some, but things like the distance, when you put two bricks together, the distance in between them, there's no measurable amount of space between a Lego bit when you stick it together. You know what I mean?
Okay. The
strength of it for what it is, Lego's made to very specific dimensions, so the thickness of a piece is important. I've never snapped a Lego piece ever.
Oh, I did as a kid. Definitely.
No,
The little
maybe
thin,
when I was a kid, when I was trying to.
the thin long ones I did as a kid.
Yeah, I'm sure you can snap them, but they're quite difficult. They're quite
But
difficult.
also, how long have the Lego opener upper bit tools been around? Because when I was a kid, you never had those.
Oh no, that's a newish thing, isn't it? Really, and I didn't even know what they were.
My issue
I didn't know what they were at first. Then,
like, if you had a stack of little one thin
Mate,
kind
they
of
are
pieces,
absolutely.
and you're trying to get them apart. It was a nightmare,
Yeah.
especially when you had just two of them. Oh, God,
That's
the
another
amount
thing
of times
about the precision of it. That tool works amazingly, and it works in like 4 or 5 different ways. Really, really clever. It works amazingly to get to the bits that you cannot. You get your fingernail in there, and you get to the point where your fingers are hurting because you're trying to separate. It just pops them off straight away. It's unbelievable.
And it can get the stone out of a horse's shoe as well. Yeah, and well, no, that's
the other end.
That's the other end. Yeah, exactly. Right, gentlemen, what's next in our Lego-tastic spectacular?
Well, we've each got a couple of segments, haven't we?
Yeah.
I think. I've got one segment.
What's next? So that
you
we
got,
don't need
Lummy?
to describe it. Just literally coming out with who's going to take over next.
I've got. I could go through the rare. I've got rare. I found a list of rare sets basically. So with the price of each, I can go through it pretty quick.
Do you want us to guess the prices?
No, that's stupid.
Good.
No, I'll just pull up the image and tell you. So number one, rare. Shall I go backwards? Actually,
go whichever way you.
I'll go backwards. Rarest. So we've got. This is according to this list I found online. So I'll put the image up. Right, there was. This is where. Here we go. Nesquik bunny.
Yeah, I've seen that one before.
Giving away with Nesquik milk. $114 you can buy these for, which isn't too bad. It's not too bad. It's for a minifigure.
Yeah, pretty cheap.
Number 9, Statue of Liberty. This was the first one that came. The first issue of this. They did a reissue, and it was better. The second one, everybody agrees. But these sell apparently at $1,531. You can pick up one of the originals for.
Oh, do you know what? That's not too bad to say. It actually is made out of old Lego because
Made out of Statue of Liberty.
There's so many pieces now that would do better in place of those blocks.
Yeah.
That would actually make it look quite realistic.
Yeah.
That's not too bad to say it's traditional Lego and it's just square stuff. That's cool.
I mean, for me, what we were talking about earlier, these a bit too blocky, are they? I've seen the new one and you think, yeah, it looks all right, but not too sure.
Yeah.
The new one's got the base with it. That's what a lot of people moaned about this set. Said it hadn't got the, the plinth thing that
the island and
that she's on. Yeah, the Stad Island thing. But yeah. Next up, number 8, Mr. Gold.
Wow.
So this.
Monopoly.
No, it's not Monopoly. It's what it is. The minifigures you can buy in packs for like £3. This was a figure that was blind bagged in there, so you didn't know if you were going to get him or not. And that sells now. You have to pay $1,786 to get that.
Holy smoke!
Yeah. So there he is, Mr. Gold. Number 7, we got a milk truck. There you go. It's pretty old. That was a promo for this company called MD Foods. You can see it on the thing. $1,980 for that little gem.
It looks better than the DeLorean.
I'd rather have that.
You're right,
yeah. It does.
It's much better than the DeLorean.
Mark's International.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. What we got next? One called Market Street, number 6. This sells for $2,163, and it was part of this weird thing that. Yeah, they all connect together. These things apparently, and you can, I don't know. It was some thing that came out limited edition, but yeah, so interesting. But it don't look very different to a lot of stuff. Number 5, Airport Shuttle. This had the limited production. This one, $2,484. It'll set you back to get all of this. And the reason it's worth so much is the track on it. It was sent out to another company to make the track, and then the company went bust, and they'd lost the original molds for the tracks, so they couldn't reproduce them.
Oh wow! Okay.
After this, we got Imperial Star Destroyer UCS. Now, this is the original version because obviously they've done it since.
Yeah, they've done a new one last year or the year before.
Yeah.
Same size as the Millennium Falcon as well.
Yeah.
Almost the same size. Same
so
price,
if you want one of these now, the original one, it'll set you back $2,300.
Fucking hell.
For that. Right, they've got this one, right? King's Castle from 1984. right? This is worth $2,600. I had this as a kid.
I was going to say, I remember that set.
I had this set. And what makes it so rare is you've got to have it sealed, obviously, for that kind of price, unopened. But it was a large Lego set for the time. They didn't used to do them this big.
I think I had that set.
Yeah, a lot of people have had this. Yeah. A lot of people have had this one. But you need it
remember the bows and arrows.
Yeah.
And the flags.
It was a good set, yeah. And the printed bricks, look, with the
and there's the drawbridge, wasn't it? You could actually wind the drawbridge up and down. Yeah, no, I definitely have
that bow and arrow design as well is still around, because if you buy Hawkeye, it's almost exactly the same fucking mold. So
Robin Hood Lego as well. Do you remember Robin Hood Lego?
They very rarely change it.
I don't remember it.
From the Prince of Thieves.
No, they had, like, about this time, they had Robin Hood sets as well. And I had some of them. Yeah. Okay. Right, number 2, first edition again of this one, Taj Mahal. Again, they re-released this later on, and they added a brick to it, apparently, just an extra brick, so it were different. But this $3,864 to get this now, the original one.
Yeah, this is the kind of Lego that you if you're desperate to build Lego, that you tell your parents it's an educational thing, don't you? Because they do loads of these landmarks and bridges and statues and stuff. Yeah, and it's not something I'd really want to play with.
But this is when we come back to that same argument again, though, isn't it? Is Lego a toy or is it a jigsaw puzzle? You know, and I think it's just a big 3D jigsaw puzzle.
It is now. I think back in the day it used to be more about build with your imagination, but because they do it all now and this is a set. Do you remember Lego used to have on the back? They'd have a few different things that you could build.
Yeah. Potential.
You don't see that. Yeah, you don't see that anymore, do you?
No, you do. But it's in a different type of thing. So there's these things called 3-in-1s now, and
that's right.
Things that are
I bought Robin one.
Called creator sets.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, if you're going to take
a little polybag one, didn't you? That was a dog, or it could be a horse, or
a scorpion, or something like that.
I really think it'd be interesting to give one of these massive sets to a Lego, master builder person, and say, build us something else out of there. Here's your Ghostbusters Firehouse pieces. Build us something else using that. See what you can come up with, because there's specific stuff in all these things.
Since there's so many more people building now, and so much more Lego and licensing available. There's this whole thing. Have you heard about snot building?
No.
All right, snot is a Lego term for, it means studs not on top. So you see that X-wing wing, the TIE fighter wing that he's holding there. The pieces, the grey pieces going round, they're snot. You can't see the studs through them, but the bit underneath the wing, you can see the studs from here. So it's not snot. So there's a whole way of building where, as you're building a wall or something, if you put those bricks that have got a little point that comes out, you can attach those flat flush pieces to it. So the Ghostbusters Firehouse is a perfect example of that. It doesn't look like bricks. It's got that Art Deco feel to it. It's got the trimming around the windows, and it's all smooth and flush instead of being blocky.
Yeah, I've got one more. Then number 1, it's the original version of the Millennium Falcon Collector's Edition. Now So I mean, it looks exactly the same, doesn't it, as the other one? But apparently, if you want to get your hands on one of these now, $15,000 you'd have to pay.
What?
Whoa.
Yep.
Is it a similar piece count to the?
I don't know too much about it. I didn't really look into it, but I think they brought it out, didn't they, as a limited thing, and then they thought this is so popular, we've got to do another version of it, basically.
It was definitely limited. I remember that much. Because that's another thing that's created the scarcity of it. It's just it's really
$15,000.
$15,000.
$15,000.
I actually know somebody who has that.
Oh, is it you?
No, it's not me.
Oh.
Dude,
I do know somebody who
sitting
has
on $15,000, man.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, I assume that's mint in box, unopened, all this,
Yeah, so as soon as you break the seal on that box, you
lose 10 grand.
Yeah. That's like buying a car, isn't it? As soon as you drive it out off the forecourt, you lose.
Yeah, you put a mile on it.
The price.
Yeah, and we just accept this shit because we're told that's the way it is.
Yeah,
just do it.
That's awesome, Robbie. Thank you very much. Webby, what have you got for us this week?
So I'm going to do a quick. I think it's stuff we all probably want. Rob fucking got most of it, but I've done a Webby's most wanted. So we'll start. Right. It's a quick 10 of them. And number 10, I thought, as an honorary thing, because I think it's quite a cool build, I've put set number 71940, which is the Disney Castle.
Yeah.
This has been out for a few years now. You can see it's pretty bloody huge, that. And it looks an interesting build. It's not just...
Is it wonky?
I've not got the front image for you. I'll have to try and get it.
I think they're putting the top on, dude. Like, they're just putting it on, placing it on there.
I know somebody who's got this.
Putting it on wonky.
Yeah.
I've nearly bought it a couple of times.
Yeah, a mate of mine's got this. He's got the, he's into his Disney stuff. He's got all this stuff.
It depends whether you want to collect stuff that you can play with your kid, like me, or whether you want to collect stuff that's got to sit on a shelf, because that would have to sit on a shelf, I think. But this one is 4,080 pieces. The minifigs you get with this, which is a bit of a rip-off for a 300 quid set, I think. You only get 5 minifigures: Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, and Tinkerbell. And it's 300 quid. That is still on sale, by the way, at the minute. That hasn't retired yet. They also did a Disney train station. The train station, they have the entrance of Disney. They did.
Which I think it's the same price in it as the castle.
It's very similar price, but you get a little... I don't know why they bothered.
There you go. That's the front image.
So, I mean, it's quite a pretty set, that, and it looks pretty good, pretty authentic. And the train set, it's got a working train with a train track and everything. I think it comes with Goofy and a couple of other characters that aren't available in the Disney castle. Number 9. Now, this is a set that's affordable for all of us, and I think it's really cool. Man, I chose Thor's new Asgard, which has just come out.
There you go.
This is one you were telling me about the other day.
Man,
that looks awesome.
Really cute, man. Not only that it's got exclusive figures in this, it's the first time they've done Korg, but they've also got Fat Thor, when he shows up with his belly hanging out. I think that's really cool. That is $27.99 retail price.
That's
3
cute.
minifigs, because you get Meek as well. That little purple blob thing there is Meek. And 265 pieces. So it's quite a cheap and cheerful little set. I think
it's all right.
I like that. I'd get that, actually. I would get that one.
Number 8, I've chosen the 1989 Batwing, which they released last Christmas, and completely passed me by until I started doing some research. I completely forgot about this set until I started. Look at that. Now, this is, again, 2,363 pieces. It's around about $179.99. You get 3 figures, 2 of which are exclusive. So you got the exclusive black and white Joker with his checked pants and his tuxedo, and that Batman has got
the feather that he throws in the neck.
Yes.
Yeah, and that Batman has actually got a molded, instead of having the cape and the helmet separate like all the Batman figures me and my boy have got, this one's got the molded rubber cape. So it's it's the Michael Keaton Batman, which gives me a bit of a thrill.
That's brilliant. Have you got that, Webb? No,
I haven't got that one. I think I'm gonna possibly. We'll think about
that. Big Team O's just arrived. Hello.
Hey, Big T. Welcome to the show. Lovely to have you join us. It's a bricktastic episode where we're looking at all things Lego this week, buddy.
For number 7, I've chosen Jabba's Sail Barge. This has been released twice in different forms. I prefer the original version, the 6210, which is because it comes with a Sarlacc pit, it comes with a desert skiff. It's got more figures, and it just looks cool. They did another one, a more recent one than this, with more bricks in it, less characters. I didn't really fancy that one. So that one's retired. If I want to buy that one, I can get one with no figures and not complete on eBay for about $69.99. But if I want the full thing, unopened, brand new, the cheapest I've managed to find, and it goes up massively, like you said earlier, Lumb, it goes up massively from here. It goes up to, the cheapest one I found was 320 quid, still in the box, sealed. But I saw one for 495 quid. So, not going to be getting that one. Not anytime soon. Number 6, we've already talked about this one, but Hogwarts Castle, that's 6,020 pieces, 350 quid. This one, the next one, number 5, I think is really cute. And having a little boy is a great excuse to possibly buy. And it's not too expensive either. The Winnie the Pooh house, 21326.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah.
I mean, that's cute as hell. This one's really clever as well. That is a complete house, and it opens up. So you can open it up from the back, and you can look at Pooh's honey pots or whatever the hell is in there. But yeah, cute figures with it. Eeyore. You got Eeyore, Piglet, Tigger, Pooh, Rabbit. And that's it. And that one's only $89.99, 1,265 pieces. So that's a cool one.
That's cute.
I like the beehives. They're good.
Yeah, I like the beehives. I'm never quite impressed with the trees that they. I know it's going to be difficult to build a tree out of Lego, but I'm just never.
But that's different. This is a tree house. It's sort of built into it, so there's roots sticking out of it and all. It's not. I think it's a good one.
It's more the branches and the leaves, but they're always going to struggle with that, aren't they?
Well, yeah, they're getting more and more pieces for stuff like that. My number 4 choice was the 1989 Batmobile. That's set number 76139. It's amazing, man.
I mean, look at the curves on that. They've managed to curve that. You know,
it's beautiful. I reckon that this must be designed by a similar guy to the guy who did the Ecto one, because it's got that same.
After they fired the Back to the Future guy, they went, yeah, man, this guy knows how to do curves.
Yeah, this one is 3,306 pieces. You got that exclusive Batman again with the molded cape. You've got a different Joker, which is the Joker. I can't remember which outfit he's wearing, but it's not his purple suit. It's something slightly different. And Vicky Vale. So you only get 3 with that, but that's a UCS set. So is
that the same size as your Ghostbusters card, you reckon?
It's in the same scale as that, yeah.
Right, that's good.
Well, obviously, if you remember that car from what I remember this from when I was a kid, it's 22 foot long, that car. So it was ridiculously long. So, yeah, that's 220.
It was all bonnet, wasn't it?
Again, still available, not retired yet. That one's only been out, I think, maximum 2 years. I know a guy who's got that one.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, my old boss has got that one. He's a big Lego fan.
No, I'm surprised it's only been out for 2 years.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, man. It's a cool set, that one. And that's, to be honest, on my list, apart from the Thor one, that is the Winnie the Pooh one is the most realistically affordable one for me. My next one was Diagon Alley, which we've already talked about. 5,544 pieces, tons of figures, but it's 370 quid. So sorry, Lego, I'm gonna have to keep my money. I don't have that kind of.
Unless you want to send one for review purposes. Like
the next one has been playing on my mind. Next one has been playing on my mind so much since I heard it was coming out that it is going to get bought at some point. There's no two ways about it, even though it's expensive. This is 76178, the Daily Bugle. 3,000 pieces.
I don't know what that dude is.
3,772 pieces. But what gets me about it is it comes with 25. Now, that's generous for Lego. 25 minifigs. So you've got, amongst others, Spider-Man, Punisher, Daredevil. They've never done Punisher and Daredevil before, so that was a big deal because those are adult characters. They're considered to be not appropriate for Lego, but they've bent the rules. Mysterio, Blade, Doc Ock, Venom, Carnage, Peter Parker, Aunt May, Gwen Stacy, Miles Morales, Ghost Spider, Firestar, Spider-Ham, Black Cat, Betty Brant, J. Jonah Jameson, Ben Urich, Robbie Robertson, Ron Barney, and a taxi driver, and Green Goblin and Sandman. So, I mean, that's a bonanza of figures right there.
Yeah,
if you want to,
amazing.
you know. So I would want that just for the figures alone, so me and Robin could play with it. That's $274.99, but it's the tallest Lego set they've ever done.
How many pieces?
3,772, near enough
4,000
pieces.
It looks like it's got more pieces than that. Do the figures count as pieces when they do the...
They do actually, yeah. They do in a set, I believe. The worst thing about, if you put that picture back up, Lummy, there is something that people have bought this have complained about, which is that Lego have decided in their infinite wisdom that Green Goblin is smashing his way out of the Daily Bugle, which is great for 5 minutes. But if you want to build the Daily Bugle and have that front intact, you've got to mess around something chronic. You've got to buy loads of different pieces. It's set up to look like it's broken. So that pissed a few people off. But
I can see why, actually.
You think that make it as just a breakaway panel that you could either have on and off.
Exactly,
easily.
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
Or even on hinges. On hinges or something, where it could open up in 3 parts or something.
But if you were to buy this and literally buy it for the figures, some of these figures are going to be worth a shit ton in the future. Daredevil, Punisher, Spider-Ham. There's a lot in there that you could resell to make some money back if you wanted, but I couldn't do that, man. They're really
I've got to say, I'm not. Out of all the two ones we talked about, I'm not fussed about this one. I don't know why. I'm just not bothered. I'm a big Spider-Man fan as well, you know, but I just something about it. I'm not
a big, massive building. They've just got 25 figures in there. But yeah, that's the other thing. I wouldn't buy this to play with Robin because it's just a big building. You know what I mean? It'd be cool for me to have, but yeah. But my number one,
like thingy. It's like big. It's a building. What's fun about that?
But my number one of all time, we've already talked about it a little bit tonight. I think we're probably going to end up talking about it a little bit later as well because I can't get it out of my head. Millennium Falcon, Ultimate Collector Series, 75192, 7,541 pieces.
Just the box looks beautiful.
It's awesome.
It's a beautiful box.
And for a UCS set, it's actually got a fair amount of figures. So you've got Han, if you've got the original crew, they've chosen Han, Chewie, Leia, and C-3PO. And the new crew, they've got Old Han, Rey, Finn, BB-8, 2 Porgs, and a Minoc. That sounds like a start of a joke. 2 Porgs and
a menu.
Yeah.
Flashy restaurant.
So yeah, unfortunately, guys, that one's 650 quid, and I've got a fiance, and she's got some limits. She's like, come on, you can't be spending that much because that is a small cheap car, you know.
Yeah. How much would that gain in value though in the next few years?
I don't know because it's quite readily available. It's never really sold out.
Available. It's really sold a lot.
Right.
So I think it's not as rare as some of the other stuff. And the figures are definitely not rare. I've got every single one of those figures in other sets.
Everybody wants it though. It's the ultimate.
I want it because I want to build it. I want to say I built it. I want to see what it looks like when I built it. But then I'm probably going to want to put it away because the other thing about Lego is if you leave it out, it just gets dusty and it's in the way. You know what I mean? You've got to have somewhere to put this stuff. This actually comes with a stand that's really cleverly built, so you can display it flying kind of on a tilt. So you can
a lot of people put them in coffee table setups, don't they? I've seen that a lot of times.
Coffee set and then put a glass top on it and have this displayed underneath. But yeah, I don't have that kind of money. So for my wish list, if I bought everything on this list brand new from Lego and paid around 320 quid for the Jabba's sail barge, the cheapest one that I found brand new, it would cost Webby £2,782.91. The good news is I've got the £2.91.
Wow.
Wait, hang on. That's what it would cost for all 10 of those.
If I want to buy all 10 of these, including the rare one that's only available secondhand, yeah, that's how much it would cost.
Do you know, it's a ridiculous amount of money for Lego, but it's not as much as I thought it would be for 10 quite sought after sets.
Get yourself that one.
I think I'll start with
that. I might get that one myself, actually.
That's
it does look really cool.
And potentially,
the figures in that might become quite valuable.
And dude, that is a definite one. That's a great one for you because it's just one like you're displaying stuff in the background there that would fit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that would go nice. It would go nice there, actually, just there.
What I've realised after building Ecto 1 this week, and probably Rob can maybe relate to this. I hope he can, otherwise I'm going to feel like a loser. I don't know if there's such a thing as Lego. I'm trying to explain it, but the further you get into your build. So I had 12 bags of Lego with this Ecto 1. And when I got to Lego bag 11, I started to get a bit sad. You know what I mean? Started to get like, oh, the end's right round the corner. And I think that's a real thing. Like, you know, the end's coming, and you're like, oh, I just want to build this forever, man.
Like a post-build blues.
Straight to bits and build it again. I really was.
A post-build blues.
Yeah. Lego.
It's like, yeah, it's if it's the same when like Robin gets to a certain age and you're not playing toys with them anymore and things like that. It'll be the same thing, the same feeling. It's like, Robin, this is how it felt like.
I know, man, I know. Incidentally, in a future show, I've got to report a thing that landed in Robin's lap a couple of weeks ago. I'll do a little bit of a thing about it in a couple of weeks, but he got given a full set of Ninja Turtles, 2 bad guys, 2 turtle vans, and a Turtles play set that is the biggest play set I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, is it the sewer? Is it the sewer thing?
Yeah. It's absolutely huge. And he got it for note. The neighbour said, do you think you'd be interested in this? And I was
wow.
Like, if it
and you went, sod Robin, I'm interested.
He'd be like, yeah, he would, but don't tell him. He wouldn't, don't tell him.
So, yeah, I'm quite proud of him. He's been learning all the names of the turtles and the nicknames. And, yeah, he loves it. It's a really cool thing. I'll take some pictures and do a little thing.
How punchy and kicky has he become since he's got his turtle stuff?
How what?
How punchy and kicky has he become since he's been?
Maybe 3% more kicky and punchy than he already was because he watches Marvel and stuff. But honestly, for a 4-year-old, and I've seen other 4-year-olds, he's a good kid. I'm not worried at all, you know. It's just at that annoying phase where his limit of his imagination is taking a figure and another figure and just going bash, bash. But he's quite happy to do that for hours on end. So let's crack on.
Yeah, well, what we should do is, I get it, Big T. Lego is just really, really expensive. That's why I think, how much was that little Thor?
$27.99.
$27.99.
All is it that?
So,
I reckon you better get that in the sale as well. In a couple
I'm
of
just
weeks,
thinking, Rich, you forgot to do your special mention when you did your best.
Yeah, no, I was wondering that earlier on. So, but it was my first ever Lego set, and it was a 6971 Intergalactic Command Base, and it had the sort of the floor base, the crater floor base that I know a lot of them had. And they were really popular at the time, the space sets, but it was cool. My brother had to help me build that though, because I was like 6 at the time.
I just remembered when you're talking about little sets, I got the picture of this as well. I got this one years ago. Look at that little house set. It just reminded me of that one you're on about. Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's well cute.
I'm trying to wonder where the 167 pieces go though.
Yeah. It's the fireplace there. Can you see it back?
Yeah.
And you know, you've got to remember that a big bit is a bit and a little bit is a bit. So those bits on the tree, they're still a piece. That's what pisses me off sometimes. You get a set that's 1,000 pieces, but it's 1,000 tiny pieces.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what? So yeah, they are.
Look, Big Team R had that.
Amazing. Yeah, that was my first ever set of Lego. It was brilliant. I absolutely loved it.
My Nana had some Lego for us to play with when we used to go around, and I'm pretty sure she had the moon set. I remember the crater bases. This is the base plate with the built-in moon rocks. But I think she just had a bunch of random stuff. I seem to remember she had some medieval type stuff as well. Because when you showed the picture of the castle, I couldn't remember if I'd actually played with it or if I've just seen that picture that many times. I think I owned it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not the
with
same.
the craters, am I right in thinking that they actually started where you were making your own craters on the later space sets? So instead of having the molded craters, you were making your own. Is that right?
Can't remember.
No?
Can't remember.
I thought they changed it. So
bloody hell. Looks like Rob's finished.
Oh, is that all done, Rob?
It is.
That's a cute
that's cool.
That was a quick build. That was good. That was an hour, yeah.
Real small set.
Yeah, not too bad. I'll just put that dead centre rather than...
Quite cute.
And what figures have you got with it?
Standard Stormtrooper. I believe it's NIL8 and just a TIE Fighter pilot.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
Awesome.
If you put it, the problem is if you bought a previous TIE Fighter, if that's your first TIE Fighter, that's great. But if you bought a previous one and you put it next to it, it looks a bit little. Do you know what I mean? They have scaled back on the size of it, but I think that's a really.
It looks beautiful.
It's a great little build.
Hey, that's awesome.
Me eye, dickhead.
I couldn't resist.
Oh, that looks brilliant.
I'm going to find that later now.
Yeah, it'll be wherever that bit from your Aston Martin went.
Yeah, probably.
Did you ever find that in the end? No.
I haven't found it.
Did you?
If you need a spare part, there's a site called Bricklink you can go on where you can buy individual bit or eBay, I guess.
No,
I know
Bricklink. Bang on, because Bricklink is all done by the part numbers. So if you go at the back of your Lego instruction manual, everything in that build is in that, and it's all got a part number. So if you've got a bit missing, you go to that part number, you go to the Lego website or Bricklink, type the number in, boom. And they're not as expensive as you'd think. It's probably cheaper to do it bit by bit. I'll slowly build that Millennium Falcon.
Oh, that looks awesome. Thank you so much, Rob. We're going to come have a look at some more of your... Oh, wow.
There you go. Have all the shots.
Oh, cool.
Hey.
I can take the display name out. There you go. You can see that.
That looks awesome.
Cool.
Right. Yeah. So that's my top 10 wish list at the minute. It changes. There's things I've missed out. There's things I've forgotten about. Honestly, I'm a nightmare in that bloody Lego shop.
Oh, nice build, Rob. Yeah, it's nice. It is, and also, Rob, just for because we've got a few more people watching now. Can we have another look at the other two tables that you've got set up with all your figures? Is that okay? Just so we can.
Yeah. So switch over to the old school first. So this is going back to these are my oldest.
Hang on a sec. Can we not put Rob in a screen so that he's full screen and we're on the side, or can we not do that? Because then people might get a better look-see.
I don't know.
No.
You may need something
All
like
right.
the OBS
No, that's
I'm
different.
using to do it.
I'm just trying to do it. It's not working.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
We don't want more GEEK.
Oh, I'll tell you what I can do. Hang on.
Take us out.
There you go. That
Looks
works.
good.
Amazing.
That looks
Yeah,
brilliant.
really
That
good.
looks really good.
Just,
Perfect.
Rob chuckling on his own.
Rob's got this on the show.
And can we have a look at the other table as well, Rob?
Yeah, we have that one.
That's amazing. So what's going on in that one? Because we've got lots of... Because there's the Millennium Falcon. Is that the Ultimate Collector's Edition?
That is the more recent UCS. It's not the original. It's the 2016, was it? End of 2016? No, sorry, 2017, I think.
Okay, cool.
The biggie.
Cool.
And how many pieces of Lego do you think you own, Rob? If you...
From here, it's... For a Lego collector, it's probably not much. It's probably only 20 to 30,000 between the kits. Probably nearer the 20 mark. And remember, 7,500 of that is the Millennium Falcon alone.
Yeah, okay.
I was trying to add this up in my head as well because I've got probably nowhere, not quite as much as you, Rob, especially not that bloody Lego Millennium Falcon. But if I added everything together, yeah, it's definitely 20 or 30,000 pieces, like you say.
Yeah.
I'm amazed they're in a website to calculate brick calc where you go on and go, I've got this one, this one, this one. And it adds it all up for you.
There probably is some functionality on Bricklink.
Yeah.
I know you can put your own stuff in. There probably is functionality that will keep track of your inventory and tell you how many parts.
Yeah.
Are either of you, or is this this sort of heresy for you guys? Are either of you ever tempted to just take apart your Legos, mix all the pieces together, and just build something different? Just make your own mock, or is that?
No, because I don't think I could design something as well as the stuff I bought. You know, there is stuff that I would happily sell, but my biggest downfall is I bought it, displayed it, built it all, and I'm not quite brilliant at putting everything back the way it should be. And when people buy it secondhand, you've got to take a hit if you want to sell it in a big fucking box full of junk and give you instruction books as well. You could sell it, but you'd be selling it a hell of a lot cheaper than if you're just a little bit organized and you take the time to put things away right and look after them.
Are either of you tempted, or have you ever been tempted to create your own mock, or even start to kind of map out an idea for your own mock? Or if you were going to make your own mock, and this goes for you as well, Lummy, what would you build?
I mean, I would love to do one. My problem, I think, like Nathan said, it's the creativity. So for me, I can't visualize in my head. I have no mind's eye, as you would.
Me neither.
I think it's like an engineer. Is it an engineering sort of eye that you need?
It depends, because you could just literally make a lump of shit model, couldn't you, and say, there's my mock. But if the better you are at building, the more experienced you are. I would love to have a go at building something with somebody like Rob, who's got a lot of bits and is quite interested in it. But the problem is I don't seem to have a way. I don't know. There are lots of Lego forums, but I don't know a place where you can go in Leeds and talk to other Lego people and make stuff together, talk about sets, swap sets. I don't know where that is. Closest I
don't know of anywhere in Leeds.
Eh?
I certainly don't know of anywhere in Leeds.
I'll tell you, right, there is. I know where there is something like that, and it's on the way to York. I can't remember what the shop's called. A guy opened a Lego shop, and they have a side room and like a collector's thing where people do go. Nice. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. I'll have a look in a minute.
Well, I was thinking it's a shame because Games Workshop have that facility for D&D and things like that. You have like kind of a hangout for people to do. It seems like a shame that you haven't got that. Not in the Lego store, but like some sort of
closest
cafe or bar or something
was when me and you were talking about it a couple of months ago. I was saying if you actually came up for a little bit and we broke some of this stuff I've got apart, we could build our own Hogwarts.
Hogwarts,
like
yeah,
definitely. But I would be terrified of being the most experienced builder in the room because I still don't like. I still don't you know, I'm so in awe of what I'm building. You know, I mean, when I'm building other people's stuff from the instructions and it goes together, I'm just like, wow, you clever motherfucker.
Okay, well, say creativity wasn't a problem. So you had unlimited creativity. What would be your dream mock build for you to want to tackle?
Rob, I'll let you go first. I don't think I can think. Yeah, sorry.
No, sorry, I'm trying to think.
What about something that's never been done before, like an Enterprise or something like that?
Oh, I'll bet you somebody's done it.
I mean, Lego have never released any Star
Yeah, Lego.
sets,
Yeah,
even
I mean,
the
an
Dimensions
Enterprise
stuff.
Yeah, an Enterprise would certainly be interesting. I was going to say a ship called Pillar of Autumn from a game called Halo.
Okay.
They did do some Halo Lego, didn't they?
Did they actually do Halo Lego? I know Mega Bloks did Halo.
Oh, was it Mega Bloks?
Yeah, I know Mega Bloks. I've got one piece of the Mega Bloks stuff.
I'd really like to, if I had enough endless pieces, I would really like to build what that lady built and build a Hogwarts that's huge, but also got the grounds. Even though Harry Potter's not my favourite subcategory of Lego, it's just got a lot of colour and a lot of texture. I'd love to build that Diagon Alley into it as well, you know, so you've got different areas you could go to. But yeah.
What about you, Lummy? What would you build? If you had unlimited creativity, your dream?
I'm trying to think, really. I don't know, because there's a lot of stuff already out in there. I liked your idea earlier, built the Indiana Jones builds and all that. I'm trying to think of a massive thing you could build that's out of a. I quite like them Lord of the Rings builds as well. You know, where they see like they've done Middle Earth, the whole thing.
Yeah. Again, that was.
I'd like to have a go at some of the undone, but I'm trying to think what that would be, because they've pretty much done a lot of the pop culture stuff. Maybe I'll tell you what. Maybe Back to the Future, the town square, then with the clocks.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Yeah,
that's
and
a great
diner.
idea. That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's a good one. There probably is.
And I build it like
the
Stranger
shark.
Things, so you could flip it over and have 2015.
Yeah, brilliant. You could have the shark coming out of the board and stuff. That's brilliant. That's a great.
And have a side version where it's 1950s, so it's like you can rotate.
That's great.
Man, what else could you put? You could put a manure truck in it.
Yeah.
Actually, you've got four time zones, haven't you? Right. So you do the Old West.
Yeah.
Right, you flip that round and it's 1950s, then you flip that round 1985, flip it around again 2015.
That's brilliant.
If you're listening, Lego,
absolutely epic.
That's a flipping great idea. I was going to suggest
enough to put a UCS DeLorean in there as well.
Yeah.
Make it big enough to walk into.
Full size Hill Valley. Yeah.
I'd probably do the mall from Mallrats. Like have that as a scene with the stage of the game show, and you'd have the then you're looking at the sailboats and the escalator, the secret stash, the comic book store there, and like a little Stan Lee figure, and that'd be quite cool. Yeah. Even a Silent Bob with his head through the changing room wall with the. And
you could do the dude looking at the magic eye pictures as well.
That's what I mean. Yeah, looking at the sailboat thing.
Yeah.
I think it'd be brilliant.
Some good ideas. I found the shop for you. Here we go. It's in York, on way to York. Mini figs and bricks, and this dude has like a side thing where people can go and talk about Lego.
He's selling pre-owned, second-hand, bit of both.
Sells it all, a bit of both. I once went in and had a look, but you can sell and trade look as well, though. So you might be able to get a few of your sets going and go.
I'm honestly thinking about getting.
I want the Falcon.
I'm honestly thinking about getting rid of all the Harry Potter stuff I've got. So that's 4 Hogwarts building, the Burrows, the Night Bus, Hagrid's cottage, and the 4 books.
Take it in. Get your Falcon.
And I think some of the figures I've got are worth a lot as well, because again, they're not all from sets. Some of them are slightly rarer. But yeah, I've just kind of lost the interest in the Harry Potter shit since I can't afford Diagon.
No, that's fine.
Making what I wanted.
Awesome collection.
The old space stuff. Yeah, it's brilliant. There's a really good YouTube channel actually, and a good Twitter channel page that I was looking at earlier on, where a guy just documents every single bit of space Lego that came out through the ages. And seeing how it's kind of seeing how it's all metamorphosized. It's brilliant. It's really good.
You know, over the years as well, as they've released certain pieces, there are certain tiny pieces of Lego that they've released that have changed the landscape of Lego and what's possible with Lego for the next fucking 20 years. And some of it's like Bionicle. some of these guys who make mocks now, and they make mocks of monsters or dragons and things like that. A lot of the pieces come from the space sets or the Bionicle sets, and you just couldn't have made them before. But I had a question for Rob, if that's all right. What's next, Rob? What's the set you haven't got that you want?
Oh yeah.
What you saying?
Well, there's so many, isn't this? Is the problem? I mean, in terms of the, so I don't particularly play a lot with the Lego. I like the stuff that is collector's pieces, big collector's pieces. Hence the Falcon. For me, probably the two big ones I really would like to get hold of now are the Colosseum and the Taj Mahal.
Colosseum would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's the real places. It's not just pure fantasy. It's real places. Yeah. It's the architecture. They look stunning, and they are just. They look like they're going to be nice sets to build. They're going to be nice sets to have on display. And
it's surprisingly difficult to design a building that's a ruined building.
Yeah,
and make it still look like that Colosseum. I completely agree with it. It's beautiful.
I mean, I think the one we all want though is this little doozy.
Got it.
I mean, look at that. I mean, you know, it's an open top bus. Lego Friends, you know.
And people said they were stupid to put a swimming pool on side of a bus. But
who's laughing now?
Who's laughing now, losers.
What would you do if you said to somebody, "I want the Lego Friends set"? They got you that one instead of Central Park. You'd be like,
I feel like I have to get that at some point. I didn't mention that in my top 10, but I feel like I have to get that other Friends set because I got the other one, so it just seems like it makes sense.
We've got a good thing here. Look at this. Hang on, we got Last Starfighter ship. That'd be quite cool. Yeah. Get that, and Aliens Facehugger. They've not done any Alien sets actually. That'd be quite good, wouldn't it?
It comes with the adult stuff, doesn't it?
I think it depends on who owns what as well. Licensing.
Also, welcome to the show, Simon. Thank you for commenting. Chris, did you have another segment that you wanted to bring to the table?
I was just going to briefly talk about the Lego games that have come out over the years, the licensed games from the early ones. But I can put a few pictures up, see if you guys have played them really. So this was the first one that really started this idea of, you know, licensed Lego properties. When this came out, I thought this was brilliant when it first came out.
You're right. You're right.
And
so was this the first Lego video game?
Based on franchise and everything. It started the idea of smashing the blocks and collecting the studs and unlocking stuff like that, getting the red bricks for power ups. But the interesting thing about this is it came out and it dealt with episode 1 to 3, but it came out before episode 3 came out at the cinema, so it actually spoiled the entire film. And I got the game before they watched it, and I played the game and thought, well, I know exactly what the film is now.
Mate, you can't catch a break. If it's not a fucking record of the soundtrack of the movie, it's not come out ruining the movie for you.
Yeah. Phantom Menace soundtrack, Qui-Gon's Noble End was the track. You looked and went, it fucking dies. Brilliant. So then they obviously thought that's done really well, so they brought out episode 2, the original trilogy.
I pretty much shit my pants when this came out, guys. It was great. And I tell you what, as well, I wasn't expecting this back when they didn't have any voices in. They were silent, but they were funny. The comedy moments in these, all the Charlie Chaplin little things that happen in the background. Absolutely, brilliant.
And then when they did this, I think this is the best one they brought out, where they put it all together, you know. The complete saga and added new levels and stuff. I mean, great, massive game, wasn't it, when it came out? We've got Indiana Jones again, first 3 movies. What else? We got Lego Batman.
I really enjoyed the Lego Batmans. I did. Good fun.
Bit of a quirky one. Lego Rock Band. Didn't really.
Not played that one.
No. How does that work?
I don't know.
You had to get
it's just Rock Band, but with Lego figures as the graphics, I'm assuming.
One really popular, I don't think. Indiana Jones 2, where they took the Crystal Skull and actually made it good.
Well, it couldn't have been any worse than the film.
Made it good. Wow, so this whole game, Crystal Skull?
No, it's got like reimagines of the first films as well. It would have been.
It's got some of Temple of Doom in there, hasn't it?
I reckon when the new film comes out, they'll do another complete thing with it all in. Because it's due for it, really. Then we've got Potter, obviously, years 1 to 4.
These are my favourites of them all. I know the Star Wars one was great, and some of them have been really great, but for me, there was just something fundamentally enjoyable. It works with this one, because you're doing the spells, and you're doing it. It's just, it was good. Really
Clever,
cool.
yeah, clever stuff. Then you had another Star Wars based on Clone Wars. This wasn't too bad because they had ground combat in these ones where you had to kind of send your troops out and, you know.
By the
go on
way, when
vehicles
you
around,
look
it
at
wasn't too
Lummy's
bad.
PSN profile and you see how many platinum trophies he's got, you're like, what?
Yeah.
How does this loser have so many trophies? It's because he's played every single fucking Lego game that's ever come out, and they're easy platinums.
Not on this, not on PlayStation.
No, they're not.
I've got PC.
They're not easy. I shouldn't have
Pirates
said.
were all right. Don't know if you played that one.
I played a bit of that one. Yeah,
One bad.
Yeah.
Then they started doing all the superhero ones, loads of them. Batman 2. Then Lord of the Rings, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was cool.
Marvel superheroes. Still rated as the best Lego superhero game. That one. That's what all the people love. Movie, video game. Yeah,
I didn't try that one.
I tried it. One great.
I did, but it
Hobbit.
wasn't great.
Lego Hobbit. They ripped people off with this one because they didn't include the third film. They didn't bother. So it finishes after
the films.
It finishes after the second film, though, in the game, and they were supposed to bring out a DLC of the third movie. Never even bothered.
Was it a popular game?
No,
not really. It also, for some reason, the controls in that one were really horrific. At least on the console, I played it on 360.
I mean,
that was the one Lego game I nearly threw out because it was that awkward to play.
I mean, there's not even a chance of them, I don't think, doing this as a complete thing with with Lord of the Rings, and it's far gone now, and it's a bit far gone. There's no.
But dude, if they released a bunch of Lego Lord of the Rings sets now, with it being 20 years since the films came out, I'm not sure they do that well. I think that was something they should have just continued to do occasionally. Drop in a Lego Lord of the Rings set.
Another Batman one. This one too, but it had the you had the classic Batman as a DLC in this one. You know, with Adam West and all that. Pretty funny. Lego Jurassic World. So this had all the 4 at the time Jurassic Park films. Again, pretty good fun, that one. Different. And then Lego Dimensions, which, Rob, I know you've got some of these, haven't you?
Yeah.
Now
I haven't got any of these. I think I'd really like to try it.
This dealt with, I mean, this was all your franchise stuff, which unfortunately means they might not bring them out as games. You had Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, levels based on all these classic franchises, Gremlins, you know, all this good stuff.
You wanted to buy all these, Rich, as like little sets. So if you go
Toys to Life, they called it, didn't they?
Yeah.
So you can see there the portal, Rich. Yeah. There.
Right. Yeah.
You put the figures
in the main starter pack.
Yeah. And you put the figures on there and they appear in the game. So it's all just from the chips in the little tags.
Oh,
so what you could do, and what I did when I bought this, I actually bought it and I got the tags and I sold because it was quite expensive when they came out, I sold the figures and everything separate. And then if you went on Bricklink, you could buy the tags separately, and you still can. So they work without having to shell out for the actual Lego. So you could actually get the whole thing you needed to play the game, because some of the characters you needed to unlock some of the levels and stuff, which was a bit sneaky, really, because you ended up spending an absolute fortune if you wanted to do it properly. So yeah, bit of a bugger. But again, it died off. I think they did 2 series of it, and then it died off, and they were going to do loads more. But you got Beetlejuice and things like that in there.
Some really, really cool exclusive
Scooby-Doo
figures for this shit.
Yeah. Sounds brilliant. It sounds brilliant, but it sounds again like one of those things that Lego have screwed up because they've decided that it's going to be a big money spinner, and that's the thing. It's like feels like they hold Lego fans and fans of sort of geek genres, sort of pop culture, to ransom a little bit. You know,
it's almost like we're being punished for liking their shit.
Exactly.
It's an odd
approach,
but it keeps that exclusivity, doesn't it? It makes things, having the right to take Ecto-1 off the shelf tomorrow if they wanted, hikes up the price. Look at some of the things Lumb was talking about in the rarer sets earlier on that you wouldn't even fucking dream of. I wouldn't buy a milk truck if it were 15 quid, never mind £15,000 or whatever it was. You know what I mean? It's not my thing. So I'm always about that sort of, like, what is the value for money? And that, why is it £15,000? Because somebody says it is. It's just a fucking stupid.
But it's funny though, isn't it? Because a lot of the times when you buy, like when you old toys and things like that, it's because they're old or because they were a limited edition and that they suddenly have this great value. Whereas it feels like Lego, and I'm sure there are other companies out there as well, but they're playing the game of that system. So it's almost as though it's like a stock market and they're fixing the stock market themselves by, elevating the prices of things by having a limited sort of availability of them, but then being able to bring out another edition of it with one extra brick added onto it, and then being able to, it just seems, it's.
But the thing is, though, that's marketing, and that's what companies do if they've got a product you want in it. So I'm not holding Lego accountable because.
But I don't know any other companies that do it like that, though. Where it's like they're playing their customers off against each other, like they are their own stock market, like it's their own
Hasbro with the Star Wars stuff. I mean, think about the variations of figures that they brought out for Star Wars. I mean, if you want a Luke Skywalker, there's about 6,000 versions of it, with different things. And it were really bad at one point when they started reissuing Star Wars figures. When we were kids, you got 88 figures, you were done, weren't you? That's for an entire 3 films. However, now you can get.
However, the thing is, it's that the way they play in your mind is that Ultimate Star Wars collection is what I had when I was a kid. I've recently seen some of those toys. They look fucking awful, mate. They don't look like they hardly look like most of the monsters kind of resemble who they're supposed to be, but the people themselves, they're not articulated. They don't move their hands. They don't move you know what I mean? They're really limited. And don't get me wrong, I've played with them like mad, but that memory I've got of them being the perfect toy. It's the same with Transformers as well. The Transformers that were out when I was a kid, they're perfect. When I've seen them recently, they're really not, man. They're really not. They actually look way better now than they did. The level of figures that they're doing at the minute, from things like that Palisades Muppets range that I collect, fucking amazing.
But I'd argue that they're more for they're for the collectors, they're for adult collectors. Now, a kid ain't going to be bothered whether something looks screen accurate or whether it looks like somebody. Like you just said there, when you were a kid, you played with this stuff, You had your Star Wars figures, and I think that actually encourages the imagination a bit, but maybe I'm wrong. But, I think now you get all this stuff and it is a collector's market. So they do hike the price. You used to be able to go get a Star Wars figure, didn't you, at $195, ripped it off the box, and if we'd have known, obviously now, you'd be like, I know a lad, though, I used to go to school with, and they used to collect stuff, and he went round his house, and he had all the Star Wars figures on the wall in packets, and I thought, this guy's not got a childhood because he can't play with this stuff. It's horrific. It was, so I don't know.
That mate of mine, I know, not the manager guy, I know another guy who's a massive Lego collector, and for the stuff he wants, he buys 3 sets. I mean, he's got a lot of money.
Yeah.
But he buys 3 sets, one to open, one to stick in the attic.
And one to jizz over.
Yeah, one to just sleep on or something. I don't know what he's doing with it. But yeah, he buys multiple sets of everything, knowing that most of it is going to go up in price.
Yeah.
And as we've seen tonight, it really does. If you're just keeping it in its box out of the way, it's always going to go up.
But it's interesting how a lot of that stuff on that list is stuff you wouldn't think would go up.
Yeah.
So you have to I guess you've got to know the market and know what people are buying. It might be a little set that you just think, oh, this is crap, but if nobody buys it, that'd increase the value. Whereas, as we said earlier, if everybody went out now and bought the sought after thing is like Rob's got there, the Ultimate Collector's Edition Millennium Falcon. Now, if everybody goes out and buys one of them eventually, it won't be worth as much.
It becomes worthless, yeah.
There's so many of them. Whereas a little set that's £3 that somebody buys, and they don't do many of them, a limited run because they think nobody will buy this.
Might be worth. Came in a cereal box or something.
Yeah. Well, the Nesquik thing proves that, doesn't it? It's a minifigure and it's worth how much? $114, to buy for a minifigure. Now, if you've got all them, you're laughing, aren't you?
Yeah, man.
Lummy, did you have any more games?
Yeah, a few more. We'll just go through them quick. Avengers, they did. Again, this one as good, I don't think, as the Marvel superhero one, the original one. I don't know why. It just didn't seem to. This was based on the films when they started doing that.
That's why. Because the Marvel one was based in like New York, and you could go around and collect all the different characters. There was not much of a storyline.
Well, at that point as well, that you didn't have Spider-Man in that one. You'll notice. Yeah. Whereas the Marvel superheroes that were licensed off the comics, so you could have Spider-Man and everything. Then we had, this was a weird one, Force Awakens, so an entire game based on one movie, which they'd never done really before, and 15 levels based on one movie. Nah.
Wow.
Didn't work. Just too much. Like they were seeing the worst level on that game is where you've got to basically stock up the Millennium Falcon before you go. That's cheating, you've got to fill like baskets up with donuts and stuff for Chewbacca. You're like, what is this? Really crap. Then they did one Ninjago movie again. This was given away on the PlayStation over COVID, over the downtime. I've had a quick go on it, but yeah, it's one of them in it, based on the movie. Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, they tried to do this a bit different, so it was like dimensional. All the various planets and things came together under Kang the Conqueror. I thought we were all right, that one. Massive game, though. Again, it takes a while.
Well, a bit ahead of its time as well. Now the multiverse is the thing at the moment, isn't it? That's,
yeah, that's right. Loads of different Spider-Men. Obviously, you've got the Spider-Man of the future there, aren't you, on the box? Gwen, Spider-Gwen, all that stuff. Incredibles came after that, based on the 2 movies. Again, it were okay, but I've only played it once. First time they've done a Pixar game, I think. Pixar-inspired one, I think.
Pixar Lego one.
Pixar Lego, yeah. So you had unlockables in there, like stuff from Toy Story and things as well. Then they did which I've never finished this one actually. DC Supervillains. Some of the quests on this were just ridiculous. Like like Rob said earlier, the controls aren't great on this one. Where you've got to do them races around the town. Just seemed like you couldn't control the things properly. It were a bit crap. And then the ultimate rip-off, this one. Lego Movie 2, this is like just Hub Worlds as the game. Real thrown together fast compared to the other.
I mean, we haven't talked much about the movies, but I watched the second Lego movie the other day, or the other week. It really felt like a sequel. Do you know what I mean? They didn't have much else to say on the first movie. It's quite a funny premise, but it wasn't very interesting. And that's the kid in the Lego movie. His little sister has a load of Duplo, and the Duplo figures come to attack the Lego world, and they're just shitting all over it, destroying it, and going goo goo gaga. It was funny, but then it just lost its steam a bit. Wasn't quite as good.
And then last but not least, this is coming out in spring now next year, which I've talked about before on the show. So this is all 9 movies in one, basically. Free roam. You can fly to 20 odd planets, and they've got free roam in there, going around doing alt quests. So it's going to be an absolute massive game. Apparently, you can get in a ship, fly up to the Death Star, go have a look around the Death Star. You can fly into a super star destroyer, go have a look around that. So, and they say when they made this game, they actually made all the stuff and scanned it in.
That's exactly what we're going to say. This is the interesting thing about some of these Lego games. When they did away with the painted backgrounds, and they showed you that what you're actually walking around as a character could be made of Lego. Do you know what I mean? It's actually put together like it. I think it's really, really clever.
So that game's going to be.
They're going to do a Rogue One and
there's DLC. There's DLC character packs they've announced for it with Rogue One and Solo and things, but I don't know. I reckon that's going to be the bonus missions and stuff, though. I can't see how they won't do it. I can't see how they won't put that in. But there's a new trailer out for that. I forgot that we're going to download it and show it on here, but it looks good. It's going to be good. That
that looks all awesome. Well, thank you very much. We've got a few comments that have come in. So we've got Big T. They're bringing out a Nerf.
That's true.
Rifle from Aliens.
Oh, right.
Lego.
Yeah, I saw that, and it's exactly the same, except for the fact it's bright yellow. They painted the thing. So if you got some gunmetal spray and sprayed it, it would look exactly like the Nerf rifle. Right. Yeah.
And Simon, cheers to the shower, Rich. Not a problem. Anytime, Simon. I was talking with Rob about the Pillar of Autumn Lego Starship that he showed on YouTube. I spent 3 years building it. Amazing to see. 3 years.
Jesus.
I mean,
it was one of the box. Yeah.
That's insane. How many pieces do you know?
I think he said over 100,000, but I'm not entirely sure. It's about 7 feet long. It's huge.
Yeah. Wow. And Big T, the Action Force G.I. Joe figures were loads better than the Star Wars figures, but still had fun playing with all of them.
Yeah, they had a lot more articulation. They moved a bit more.
Had the joint articulation, didn't they, in them ones?
Yeah, that's right.
They're the ones that the torso was attached to the legs with like a rubber thing. So it actually swiveled around in the socket, the hip sockets.
Yeah.
Well, for the last section of this week is I've been having a little go. You haven't got any other sections, have you, Webby?
No,
cool. The last section this week was I've been having a little look on the internet because we all love Lego, we all love toys, we're adults, but sometimes when you leave adults with toys, well, strange things happen. And I kind of equate this to like leaving any adult in a room with a fridge with an alphabetized fridge magnets on it. You're always gonna, do you know what I mean? So here are some mocks, I guess, to do with Lego.
Anybody that saw, hang on a minute, I'm a bit worried here, and I saw your round on superhero sex toys on that quiz episode.
Anybody of a nervous disposition, leave the room.
So yeah, anybody under the age of 18 probably should leave. So this is, and I've given them all certain names. So this is one that I call Angry Shit. I mean, I'm not sure what he's trying to push out there, but that's.
You can all get a Lego loo roll as well, just with
exactly, the helmet.
I've got the parts to make that.
Well, I'm thinking he might be angry because he's
somebody's taking his photo while he's trying to take a shit.
No, I'm thinking it's probably because he's accidentally picked the wrong toilet cubicle.
That is brilliant. Oh my god. That's brilliant. Hang on. I want to take a picture of that.
Oh dear.
I mean, I can just send it to you. This is what I call Captain Jack Sparrow Dick. That's all I can figure out what's going on there. Is
it's the expressions that make it on that one.
Exactly. Also, you know, we've all been to an office party and allowed the occasion to get the better of us. I love that one. I really love that one. It's kind of my favourite one. It's kind of the cleanest, but my favourite one as well. It's really cute.
It's the butt in it,
isn't it? It's perfect. So there's a little bit of kinky Wonder Woman going on. And also, you know, you're always going to get adults that are going to try and make a penis out of Lego. But I like the fact that I call this an LBGT dick. There we are.
Okay.
I mean, this comes back to what you were saying about making the boulders earlier. It's not easy, is it?
Yeah. Trying to get the spherical shape. Yeah.
I think this is the main reason that Lego have kept the majority of their bricks square, is to stop people
tits and balls out of it.
Stop people falling asleep.
You know, so following on from LGBT cock, we also have what I affectionately refer to as COVID cock. I mean, it does look like the spike protein on COVID, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like
there is a whole series of instructional videos on YouTube that teach you how to make a Lego cock and balls.
At least he's happy.
Like you say, this was a very satisfying erection.
This is a little bit of Lego police porn.
Somebody filming.
Yeah, somebody filming. You got the camera crew there. They've even got a wall. It's on a wall. They've got a wall in the background there. And then the next scene, I think, is, or maybe the next scene is probably this. I call this finger cuffs.
Jesus Christ.
I call this guy the Wang King.
Oh dear.
Oh god.
You've got a strange amount of these exact things, these pictures. I'm a bit worried.
Yeah, I know. All right, let's clean it up a little bit.
Mix it up a bit.
Nudity. Let's make this. We could have just some strippers instead. There we are.
Them stripper eyes. She's worked a few shifts.
Yeah. She's dead behind the eyes.
Yeah.
There.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
this is. Go on.
I was going to say that's some quite well observed. Oh, see, we've got glass stilettos on. Look.
Yeah. And the zebra skin seats behind and the money. Yeah. This is what Wolverine looks like when he's doing doggy style.
He's stuck in his pants on.
Oh dear.
and I think the last one is Sausage Party. Now, what is wrong with her legs? What are her legs doing in that one there? She's like sort of
She's gone on backwards.
No, they tried to make it look like she's kneeling down, so they put her legs on for effect.
The other way around.
It would look. That's about as close as you could get it. I like the fact this guy's not circumcised.
Or he's wearing a condom, and that's a little teat at the end of it. And I think that brings us to the end of today's lesson on never leave adults alone with Lego.
Okay. Well, I've resisted
the team all like
that. To shag my Lego and build sex toys with it, but maybe I'll.
I feel like I should have put some of this stuff on display in compromising positions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just so when we zoom in, it's just those with a keen eye for detail could just pick out what's going on.
Yeah, that was my thought as well.
I did a lot of research.
Yeah.
Oh my lord! Wow, that's pretty good.
And there was me wondering what I could bring to the table on this week's episode.
And that's me rethinking the fact that earlier on I said I could never make a mock, but I think if I'm inspired now. They didn't look that difficult.
That photocopy one, the office party one, is probably my favourite out of all of them. It's just that's really funny and creative, and it's like actually
a perfect one frame cartoon.
And you can imagine that being in the Lego movie, actually. That because it's not too risque. It's it's
and the fact that the butt is underneath, it's brilliant. It's great. Great shout. I think the first glory hole one with the guy being all surprised on the toilet, and that one were my personal favourites.
Yeah. It's difficult to tell, though. It's really difficult to tell. You know,
his face. Brilliant.
Well, gentlemen, is there anything else that you'd like to mention before we finish up the show for another week?
Go buy some Lego, guys. You might surprise yourself. Not you guys. You guys have got some Lego. If you haven't got any and you're thinking, God, these guys are losers, go buy it, build it, and then tell me I'm wrong. It's really good fun. Ridiculously fun.
Therapeutic, apparently, isn't it? Lego? Therapeutic.
It is very therapeutic.
I zone out, put my favourite album or a podcast on and just sit and build. Or a film I've seen 100 times before.
So, Webby, I've got a quick question for you before we go. And for you and Rob, actually. Do you watch Lego Masters?
I've heard of it. I've seen one episode a long time ago, but I haven't seen a lot of it.
Okay, it's a question for Webby. Lego Masters US or UK, which is better?
The Lego Masters UK was done on a bit of a bigger scale. And then last week, actually, I learned that Lego Masters Australia is on E4. However, when I went to watch it, it was exactly the same formula as what they did with the recent Lego Masters US. So the first episode, they had to make there was a cityscape made out of 12 different base plates, and they had to develop their own plot of land in the city. So they were building massive buildings, basically, but it could be a building that's a treehouse or all sorts of shit. And then the Australian one was exactly the same. So I had to look at the episodes, and it follows. Right, there was a really cool Star Wars episode 9, I think it was, in Lego Masters America, and I'm assuming Australia now, where they had a couple of guest stars from the films on, but also they got to build these amazing Lego Star Wars dioramas.
Oh, nice.
So if you don't want to watch the whole thing, that was by far it's very.
There was one where they had to make their own Lego droids, weren't there? Star Wars droids.
That was the same one, yeah. They started to make the droid, but the gist was it had to look like it belonged in the Lego universe, and a couple of them really fucking nailed it, man. They really nailed it.
That's the only one I've seen, but it was great.
But those dioramas were pretty cool. The worst thing was, though, there were only three teams left, and they got to pick from 12 different scenes from Star Wars, so you could have a Dagobah or Hoth or whatever, and they all picked really boring ones. So it was a bit strange in that respect. But if you like Lego and you like to see what people can do, the two who won the American season, good lord, they were phenomenal. I think they both must have jobs at Lego now. The winners were amazing. They knocked every episode. They knocked it out of the park. brilliant.
Oh wow! Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So US Lego Masters is well worth a watch.
They're very different. The UK one is like
I
its
love
own
the
thing.
UK.
Yeah,
I really like the
was
UK
good
one.
fun, very British, a bit bake-offy, you know, just
Yeah,
enjoyable. The American
yeah.
one had Will Arnett from bloody Lego Batman.
Of course, right,
he was hosting it, so it had that star factor, but it was very American, very over-dramatic, very like people were crying every 2 minutes. You know, it's like that old joke my dad used to say, "How do you make an American cry? Just point a camera at the face." That's all you have to do. And that's exactly what it was like. They were crying over nothing all the time. But it's funny to watch somebody build something and then fucking knock it over on camera by accident and then flap around like a tit going, "Oh, what are we doing?" Yeah,
or not to work when they've only. Rob, if you were to recommend to somebody who's got a fleeting interest with Lego, but has seen the show tonight and is like, do you know what? Actually, I've kind of got the bug. I would like to go out and get myself a set of Lego that isn't too expensive. It's fairly reasonably priced, but a good build. Is there anything that you could suggest to them that they could potentially go out and buy?
I think a couple of the Star Wars kits that we've done on here, the X-Wing and the TIE Fighter, they're sort of around, I think the TIE Fighter was 25, I think the X-Wing was about 40. They're relatively cheap, certainly as the branded stuff goes. They're nice, easy ones to do. They've got a nice little bit of detail on them. As you say, the TIE Fighter, I haven't got the original one to compare to. It maybe lacking some of the detail. But yeah, I think those are probably good places to start. But really, there's that many varieties. Find whether it's Stranger Things, Star Wars, Ninjago. Find the thing that appeals to you and just pick a little set and have a play.
I don't think that's necessarily true, dude. That TIE Fighter, it's not the detail it's lacking. That's the other size one, the one from Force Awakens.
It's just bigger, but I think yours has got just as much detail, Rob.
Yeah,
actually, when you
I think it's quite detailed. It's just a different size. It's
I think so.
Taller wings, but
that looks like it's almost half the size again.
It's not a bad beginner's
set.
The
Force Awakens TIE Fighter might be bigger anyway because it's got 2 people in it.
Yeah, it's got room for 2 pilots. Yeah.
So the scale might be on, is it? I don't know. But anyway.
No. I mean, they did do a UCS TIE Fighter and it's 3 times bigger at least than that one. It's fucking huge.
Rob, thank you very much for that recommendation. Lummy, what have you got going on this week? Anything that you need to plug for us? What's going on Box Office Radio this week?
Box Office Radio tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. It's a regular show. I usually do my film music of specials every other week. So tomorrow it's just a bit of a varied mixed bag tomorrow night. I've got some, I'm trying to think what I've got lined up. Some odds and sods, some different stuff. You know, tune in, 8 o'clock, Box Office Radio. You can listen on the website or on your mobile devices.
Well, thank you very, very much. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining the show tonight. Thank you to Big T. Thank you to Simon. Thank you to Mine. Thank you to Webby. Thank you to Lummy. And thank you very much, Rob, for coming in. It's always really lovely having you on the show. Absolutely awesome. I'm just really jealous of that Millennium Falcon, though.
Let's face it, as soon as Gittins is up in Leeds, we're all coming out of Rod's house to play with his Lego.
That's cool. You guys still have an invitation from the last time I was on to come and play some N64 GoldenEye here.
Right, Shuttle.
We could actually do a little standalone of that as well. That'd be brilliant. All right, cool. You're on. In fact, I'm coming to Leeds. We should really talk about this off air. But I'm coming up in November. So.
Has anybody ever set up? I was trying to set up very quickly my Steam the other night, my PC Steam to live stream games, and I ended up doing a test, and all it was this. It came on the Twitch stream of me doing that, going, is it working? And then about 5 minutes of me doing that with no game or anything.
I was watching a game show with Joanna the other night, and one of the guys, there was a celebrity guest on there who was a gaming expert who calls himself Dan Gaming. And the host of the quiz was like, so how many people watch your channel on YouTube? He was like, well, he said, have you checked? And he went, yes, it was about 6.5 million people. Just watching this random bloke who looks a bit like us playing games. Yeah, 6.5 million people subscribe.
He clearly figured out how to stream then, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not that he's a better gamer or anything like that. He just
Right,
literally
do
knows
it.
how to set it up. That's
His equipment works. That's
exactly.
it.
Yeah. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining the show this week. We will be back next week. But if you've enjoyed the show, if you enjoy all of our content, please share the heck out of it. Send it out onto all your social media platforms. Go and follow us on Twitter at It's All Geek Twit. Go to our Facebook page, It's All Geek to Me, or over to our YouTube page, It's All Geek to Me. But for me, for Webby, for Lummy, and for our awesome Lego Master Rob, this has been It's All Geek to Me. See you next week. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah.